Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to your Zodiac reading. I do line up my Zodiac readings with the new moon energy. So we'll be looking at the lunar month for each Zodiac sign. You might want to check out your sun, moon, or rising signs predominantly, or any heavy placements you might have in your natal chart. You could be checking out the energy for you and or another person. Also, because I am just reading energy, you might want to crisscross energies. If I say it's you and it sounds like energy around you, then you can certainly go and crisscross that energy. So we'll be starting off with the sign of Aries. Aries, welcome to your reading. We'll be looking at the overall energy for this lunar cycle with the new moon, and we'll be looking at what you don't see coming for Aries. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of Aries, what they don't see coming. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. And thank you so much, Aries, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I am truly blessed. All right, let's look at the opportunities for you in this lunar month. Opportunity for Aries. I'll leave it like that. And challenge. Challenge for Aries. Challenge for Aries. Perfect. All right, and we'll finish off with some advice for Aries. Some advice for Aries Spirit. One more advice for Aries, please. Clear and concise message. All right, perfect. And we will pull the energy you're being asked to encompass for this lunar month. All right, and we'll pull 3 Lenormand cards for further clarity around this lunar month for you. What is going on with Aries? All right, perfect. So before we get into the tarot, you're being asked by Spirit to encompass blue temple energy. Well, blue temple energy is quite a mystic sort of energy. This could certainly come with this new moon energy, which is sitting in Pisces, although my readings are timeless, so whenever you come across this reading, it does line up with the next new moon for you. But Pisces is kind of a dreamy sort of energy here. There's maybe a need to keep your dreams kind of alive. Maybe there's been an energy here of losing hope in your dream, or maybe one of giving up on something that might seem like it can't come true, or is like fantasy in some way. But you are being asked to sort of keep hope in a dream alive, not just to be hopeful for it, but to really dive into these emotions or this understanding here, to be open to the impossible in some way, that Spirit might be able to align everything in a way that fits just right if you're able to keep your hopes and your dreams as a possibility here, to be open to this. You know, anything sort of mystical that might be going on, not to shut it down, and just to be open-minded here. So let's see how this fits into your reading. Overall here for Aries, we have the Two of Cups revealing itself. And the Two of Cups is about a balanced partnership. It's about an equal give and take. Now, partnership, it could be in a romantic, intimate sort of connection here. Although it doesn't necessarily have to be, because we are in a relationship to everything in life. So it is just something here that has your heart. And again, I'm getting this sort of dreamy type energy with the cups being Pisces. Okay. There is something about having a wish or a hope, but then there's maybe letting fears get in the way of you hoping or staying on that as sort of a wishful thinking and not wanting to get stuck in that trap potentially. Yeah, I'm getting an energy here of you not wanting to pursue or dive in deep to a wish because of fear that you might get stuck in hopeful thinking. And so although your wishes are right around your vicinity here, I feel like it's welcoming you. It's tapping you on the shoulder. You might sense it. I'm feeling like you're not wanting to see it. You want to see it, but you're not engaging with it. You're not interacting with it. You're not taking the universe up on the offer. But I feel like the universe is intervening here and offering you something here that could potentially be stable and not just a fantasy or a dream. And this might come in quite swiftly and when you're not expecting it. And so I think you're doing a good job here in convincing yourself that you don't need this, or that you can go it alone, or that you don't need another person or the universe or this thing to align to give you what you want or what you desire or what you feel would be something ideal for you. So I think there's a lot of maybe just using all of your sort of focus to not allow yourself to be hopeful or dive into your emotions in some way here, or your desire to explore some sort of thing that seems distant or unattainable because of fear. And maybe there's no fear right now, but maybe if you allow yourself to go there might be fear that you might lose this, or that this might open the door to something that you might fear a consequence of allowing yourself to explore this. So for example, there could be a relationship or a connection with you and something or someone that would be impacted if you were to go ahead and pursue this or fully dive in deep. And maybe we don't feel ready to, but I feel like there's more here than just not feeling ready. I feel as though you are really driven by something sitting in your subconscious that maybe you haven't yet acknowledged here, because I do feel like the universe is responding to you, and I feel like you're being given this hope, this wish, this thing in front of you, and you're choosing to subconsciously, or maybe you're telling yourself you're doing it for one reason, but there's something deeper going on here that is keeping you not jumping into feet with this, or allowing your mind to kind of dive into this, or your hopes. So lots with that card. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse, and then we have the Six of Pentacles. So two balance cards here. The Six of Pentacles is all about equal reciprocity, what we put investments in. So yeah, I feel as though the universe is saying you are safe to invest here in something that potentially you want to invest in, that you see as a hope or a wish. But I feel like there's something you need to close out that maybe you're dragging your feet on, or you're not wanting to do just yet. And this is something that you understand has to close out, or that you have to put behind you, before you can fully integrate yourself into something else, or give to something else, or invest in something else. And maybe you're not quite sure how to close that out. And I feel like it's something you might feel like it's no longer serving you in some way, or it could be a form of self-sabotage here, where we don't dive into the thing we really, really, really want. So we kind of stick and settle with the thing that's okay for the time being in some way, but might have been over or needs to end because it's no longer providing us with the growth. So this is what I see here, overall energy. Let's take a look at what you don't see coming. So we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Six of Cups, and we have the Queen of Swords. So a lot in the sort of cups realm here, which is, again, what Spirit was wanting you to encompass here. Knight of Cups is how we show up to the ones we love, or how we engage and express ourselves with something we love, how we come out of ourselves and act as a way of expressing our love. And the Six of Cups is a person, place, or thing of the past that speaks to our heart. So there's some clarity here. There's some clarity. There's some certainty. There's maybe even putting yourself in a vulnerable position here to be honest with a situation of the past, potentially, that you've been engaging with here, or that you still sort of emotionally are attached to in some way. But maybe the mind and the heart might even be at odds here in saying, this might be something that I've been pouring my emotions into, or giving my love to, or it's a part of my past. And so it's really a part of who I've been and who I've become and what I've been investing emotionally in. But there's a greater understanding here of a wisdom of maybe understanding something at a deeper level of what needs to be done, and being a little more, well, vulnerable and exposed is coming through as a word, but I don't know if this is vulnerable and exposed within yourself or with your thoughts, because maybe it was difficult to let our mind go there and embrace some sort of truth because of what it would mean, again, to have to deal with closing something out. And maybe it's something that, you know, or it takes us back to our childhood here. But for some of you guys, I'm getting kind of mixed energy, because I'm not quite sure if the thing we're not allowing ourselves to fully explore here is bringing out our inner child. It could be both of these energies. So take what kind of resonates here. But whatever you're being asked and encouraged to sort of explore here is really tapping into an inner child sort of love, speaking to this inner child, wanting you to acknowledge, wanting you to address something here. And it might leave you in a very vulnerable and exposed sort of position here to have to acknowledge and to have to take action in saying to yourself, like, yes, this is kind of where I want to show my love, or where I want to pour my emotions into, or what I want to care towards. And it might be having to deal with taking a good look at where we have been pouring our emotions or sharing and expressing ourselves for a long time, that we might have a difficult time acknowledging what needs to come to an end and what sort of boundaries we might need to lay in place here. Yeah, it leaves us kind of vulnerable and exposed. Okay, so let's take a look at your opportunity. So opportunity, we have the Ten of Wands, and we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. I hope you guys can see these beautiful cards. I think they're, if you full screen, it's probably better than me holding it up, because sometimes when I hold it up, it could be blurry. So Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so what was it? Ten of Wands, Ace of Pentacles reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles in the opportunity. Okay, so I'm getting an energy here of the opportunity for you to rely on your own sort of ability to make things happen in a way that You're not needing to really rely on anything. Like, you could find the success within yourself to stand on your own, to kind of get through something from A to Z without maybe having to depend on other people or other things. But there's an energy here of having to carry some sort of burden here, with the Ten of Wands. And recognizing where maybe you're not supposed to be investing. So because we saw the Six of Pentacles in the overall here, it's like, again, like, where do we want to invest? So it's almost like we need to make space in order to what we truly or honestly understanding speaks to us in the right here, right now, rather than maybe a story we told ourselves of the past that maybe hasn't caught up to us just yet, because it still kind of has our emotions in some way. And the opportunity here is to not keep investing, or not, and either not keep investing in that, or because this is the Ace of Pentacles, it's like starting this manifestation. So I feel like there's a heaviness in not being able to start the manifestation and investment in what you actually want here until maybe you have some sort of level of stability or independence or success within yourself, where you could prove to yourself in some way that you're worthy. So because this is falling in the opportunity, it's almost like an opportunity for you to understand this sort of as a lesson here of manifestation, of how we can manifest things that we truly want. And when we invest in things that maybe isn't reflective of exactly what we're wanting to sort of manifest, what happens then? Like, what sort of burdens do we carry? So I feel like this opportunity is more one of a lesson, although, sorry, very hard for me to pick this up. Yeah, it's like a heaviness here of having to go and withstand something here, and it's like you're withstanding as long as you can without investing in what you want to actually pour into in order to bring it to fruition. And so there's a focus here on the Pentacle realm. Almost, again, I'm getting this sort of not looking. And I don't know why this is in your opportunity. It's like I'm getting an energy here of not looking at investing emotionally, potentially in a big hope, wish, or desire of yours. Again, maybe a childhood dream or something you want to create here or put your full love into, because there's something practical here that you're working on as sort of standing you up in a practical way. Maybe you don't have the right sort of job or the right sort of security here to make you feel like you're confident on your own to sort of accomplish something. So there's this like lesson and this burden. Not sure why this is an opportunity, but I think this might make sense for somebody here who's understanding this as something maybe that was a need to know, or it's provided you with a sense of stability, having to withstand some sort of burden or having to withhold maybe creating this investment right away, has provided you with the footing that you kind of need. So in the challenge, we have the Five of Wands revealing itself. Now, normally when we have cards that reveal themselves, which we had these two, for me, it's stuff that's sitting in your conscious awareness. Okay, so the fact we had the Two of Cups here, there was an awareness here. Like I said, there was an understanding of something you sort of emotionally knew might have been a desire, a fantasy of yours, and maybe the universe coming around to offer this to you. There's an awareness of it. And now because here in your challenge, there's this Five of Wands in reverse showing up. This is like not wanting to fight, not wanting to cause conflict, not wanting to maybe compete or withdrawing, like not wanting to be conflicted in some sort of way. Let's see why this is in your challenge. So we have the Four of Swords and we have the Empress. Okay, so Four of Swords energy, it's like withdrawing. It's like a pulling back energy to sort of reflect and heal and hold back because we don't want to be conflicted or compete here. And we have this beautiful Empress energy right beside this. This is all abundant love, a divine feminine energy. Self-worth, and that's right below the Nine of Pentacles. So I think the challenge here for you guys is exactly like I was saying, this lesson, which is also tied into your opportunity. It's like understanding your self-worth, like understanding where your value is, like really taking the time here to heal, to pull back, to not sort of go into the opportunity or to throw yourself into anything that might cause conflict here because you're still working on your self-worth or your self-value, what you deserve for yourself, where to find abundance and attainment, where you could stand on your own and find your true sort of Empress energy, because this is, you know, all the queens in one. Now, you don't have to be divine feminine, Aries, to resonate with this, but it's that side. We all carry masculine, feminine energy, and it's that feminine energy, that healthy feminine energy. Okay, because we can have unhealthy and healthy in both sort of masculine and feminine energies, where we're too much in one sort of energy. So there's a need to find some sort of self-worth and value, because the Empress, when she is in the upright, she knows her value, she knows her self-worth, she knows her boundaries, she knows how to kind of stand on her own, not depend on other people in a way to make things happen, and she knows how to communicate what it is she needs. She doesn't just kind of pull back here and hide away or not want to compete because she thinks she's not good enough in some way. She needs to communicate this. So I feel like there's some challenge here in speaking your truth or coming to the table, showing up in your full sort of self-worth here in this lesson. Yeah, I will say the sign soon once we do the advice here, but let's look at your Lenormand cards and then we'll pull the advice. So we have the Key. This is all about solutions. This is about understanding and knowledge, and sometimes it is a new phase that sort of gives us new information that we might have not have seen in the past, but it can open new doors, new possibilities. And then we have the Garden here. This is all about networking. This could be parties and the group of people or the environment that we're in, social outings, events. And we have the Cross, which could be about faith. It could be about the burdens or the lessons we learn, the cross we bear. Challenging times where we've had to carry sort of a heaviness here, but to learn sort of lesson or to trust in the divine. So with the Lenormand in this position here, I'm getting the same sort of energy throughout your reading here, where it's like, I feel there's some sort of wonderful thing that you could attain that seems like a fantasy dream filled with love and emotions. And then I feel there's this like a lesson in the middle, which is you working through what you need to know, what your self-worth is, and standing on your own and being sort of independent enough and not just maybe jumping into something until you feel or have learned some really important lesson here, before engaging, before allowing yourself to let loose, before allowing people in or things in, or experiencing a full experience. Like you feel like you have to kind of go through this, or that this is something you're needing to go through divinely in some way, or understanding what you can learn from this sort of whole experience is like a life lesson for you in some way. Okay, so what is the advice here from Spirit? We have the Eight of Swords, we have the Queen of Wands, and we have the King of Wands. That's interesting. So we have King and Queen of Wands. These are complementary counterparts. This could be our partner. Now, this could be your business partner. It could be our romantic partner. It could be somebody in which we're having to work with, learning these lessons with the King and Queen of Wands. This could represent two sides of ourselves, like we were saying, that masculine, feminine energy, you know, learning how to manifest and how to find it within ourselves to create something, because the King of Wands is very confident and is able to have the ability to chase up on things here and make things happen, because of his understanding of the ins and outs and his confidence in his ability to win. And with the Queen of Wands, this is an energy of being able to manifest and pull towards her and magnetize what she wants without, you know, selling her self-worth, like understanding her self-worth and her value here and being appreciated for her value. She is high value. And so I feel like with this Eight of Swords showing up here, it's either somebody not showing you your self-value or you not seeing it within self. Because Eight of Swords is our own mental limitation. And this could be put on us because of an internal speak. Okay, and because this is in your challenge, sometimes we have voices that have been conditioned upon us, either through childhood or through experience or programming or lifetimes or past lives or whatever sort of we've been brought into this world with. But it could be a voice saying we are not good enough or capable enough or understand our self-worth, or there's limitations to certain things that we believe we can't accomplish or create or bring in or manifest for ourselves. And so we stay stuck in some sort of mindset, believing it to be true, but it's certainly not true. But we have to learn that lesson for ourselves. And sometimes we hear that conflict and we abide, and sometimes we have to push back and question ourselves, like, where did this thought come from? And is this a true thought? And how do I find balance within myself in a way here that's able and capable to bring in what I desire? Like, there's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of wanting to go after something here. So maybe there's a lot of held back energy here and restraint, thinking you deserve to be punished or you deserve to be held back, or that you're, because again, we're still learning our self-worth, or we maybe think we're not in a position here to be successful or have the things we need in place before we can invest or take part in something that would speak to our soul or emotions. But we're having to uncover this sort of understanding here, this piece of information that reveals itself to us, because it's the truth of something we might have not have been seeing, which is like, you don't need to prove your self-worth here as someone who has every T crossed and all your I's dotted, or everything sort of in place before you allow yourself to experience love, to experience, you know, your creative sort of passions and pursuits here. And you might be doing this, like I said, from some subconscious sort of Eight of Swords place that tells you you're not deserving in some way yet, or to prove, you have to prove yourself before you can. So this is what I see. I'm going to read the signs here for you guys. We have not a whole lot of major arcana, but we have the Taurus, Libra coming through quite strong. And then Aries, sorry, not Aries. Well, you are Aries. That's probably why I said Aries, but Aquarius Gemini, and then, yes, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius coming through as well. And like I said, Pisces was coming through at the beginning of the reading here. So this is what I see for you guys, Aries. I hope this helped you guys, and I love you guys very much. I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, my beautiful Cancer. Welcome to your new moon zodiac reading. Let us take a look at the sign of Cancer. We'll be looking at your overall energy, what you don't see coming, opportunities, challenge, and then, of course, some advice from Spirit. As I mentioned in the intro, you can crisscross energies. If I say it's you and it sounds like energy around you, then feel free to crisscross the energy. All right, only take the messages that resonate. Sun, moon, rising, any placement in your Cancer or your person or anyone around you in Cancer, then this is the reading for you as long as you resonate. So, Spirit, clear and concise message for beautiful Cancer here for this lunar cycle. What is going on overall here with Cancer? Now, there's way too many cards here, Spirit, although I will take the one that is kind of solo. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of Cancer. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. And thank you so much, Cancer, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed. What does Cancer not see coming? What do they not see coming? Okay, so we have overall what you don't see coming. What is the opportunity here for Cancer? What is the opportunity for Cancer, Spirit? And challenge. I'm seeing this one here. All right, and overall advice for Cancer. What is the advice for Cancer? Seeing those two. Interesting how your cards came out. Not generally how I pull them, but that is what came out. Okay, we're going to pull some Lenormand cards to give us sort of some depth here to this reading for Cancer, Spirits. And one oracle card for the overall energy Spirit is wanting you to encompass. This one here. Wow, your cards are really wanting to come forward. So, Cancer, let's take a look first before we get into the tarot. What is Spirit wanting you to encompass energetically here for this lunar month? Oh my goodness, the Blue Temple. We just got this for Aries. Very interesting Piscean energy here. Blue Temple could be kind of the mysterious sort of energy in which we're working with the mystic. And sometimes this could even be, you know, when we go through a period of withdrawal or withdraw, we sort of gain better understanding. I feel as though there is something here that Spirit is wanting you to. It's kind of funny that this is kind of opposite energy than what it was getting there for Aries. It's like Spirit really wants you to sort of investigate and sit with a certain part of yourself, kind of getting hermit energy from this, okay? More so than the Pisces, although Pisces is here as a sort of let your mind sort of dream or go wild within yourself so that you can explore what it is you really want. So maybe there's an energy here of you not really being certain. You know, you're not really being clear or really understand the full depths of what would make you happy or what you could explore or have for yourself in some way, because maybe you haven't allowed yourself to go there, or you haven't allowed yourself to sort of sit with yourself for a while and maybe shut yourself off from other influences that might be trying to pull your energy or distract you. Like it's okay to sort of dream within your own world here so that you can really uncover every stone is what I'm hearing, in order to come up with some sort of plan or step process to get closer to what you want. I'm seeing like, like stepping stones here, like a step-by-step sort of guide. So maybe there's a vague idea here of something you want, but you're not quite sure how to manifest it or to attain it or what steps you need to take. So you might feel like you're kind of, I just heard the word like, you're nostalgic for something that you don't know what it is, or you're missing something that you're not quite sure what it is, but you just feel a lack of having it in your life in some way. There's a very specific message here. We'll get more as we reveal these for you, Cancer, but that's kind of what I'm getting for this Blue Temple. So Spirit's encouraging you to sit with self, because these steps will become clear, like these step-by-step sort of processes. The more you allow your mind and your wishes and your fantasies to sort of play out within yourself, you become very clear about what matters to you and what you want. So this with Hermit energy is Virgo, although I'm getting water energy, predominantly Pisces, and then of course some Cancer, because you're Cancer here. Not feeling too much Scorpio yet, and some Leo showing up. I will reveal the signs in a bit, but what was I going to say? Yeah, the energy Spirit's wanting you to. Oh yeah, Pisces is this lunar cycle. Okay, so the new moon is sitting in Pisces, and I am doing, like I said, the zodiacs lining up with the new moon energy, because I find that they work way better for me as a reader here, with the working with the moon in regards to doing the monthly readings rather than doing them at the top end of every month. So this would be, you know, the new moon in Pisces energy. So of course my readings are timeless, so it doesn't have to necessarily line up with when you're watching, but if you are, Pisces is coming through, and Pisces is a dreamy sort of energy here. Okay, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is sort of a dreamy planet, allowing yourself to sort of explore unworldly type things and the mystic and mystical things here that maybe the mind might shut down because we might not have proof of something, or we might not let our emotions go there because we're much in our sort of logical mind. Okay, so let's take a look at your overall energy here. We have the Emperor, Aries energy, so lots of fire with the Aries and the Leo. We have 5 of Wands, and then we have the 9 of Swords. Okay, so these are quite conflict cards with the 5 of Wands and the 9 of Swords. But I mean, the Emperor is a very empowered sort of energy. So what's going on here? Cancer. Some of you guys might resonate with the Aries reading I just heard. Okay, so you might want to, if you have Aries placements, maybe there's more insight. So I feel as though, yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm getting lots of downloads. So I'm getting that whole immerse yourself in the Hermit from this, okay? Like, I know the Emperor is the opposite of Hermit, but what I'm really feeling with this Emperor is like he is ready and gung-ho to take action. Like, he has all the ability here to make things happen, to get empowered, you know, but it's like Spirit wants you to sit in your emotions here to fully understand yourself before acting. So maybe there's a tendency for you to just keep acting or doing and kind of going with the flow of whatever sort of gets your fancy at the moment, you know, and maybe resulting in you being unhappy or not getting what you want. And so you invest a lot of your energy, your effort, and your fire kind of gets put out here. So there's like a need for you to sort of be idle in your Emperor energy, understanding that you have the ability and the capability to take charge, take action, make things happen. But before you do this, like Spirit's really saying, like, have you uncovered every stone? Have you really sat first with being really open to every possibility here, even the stuff that might seem like it might logically not make sense, but it will come to you, the step-by-step process of what you need to do in order to make this happen, this fulfillment. Because there's an energy here of you feeling sort of, I don't know, like challenged or conflicted, or maybe coming across things getting in your way, or things not really working out to your benefit here. So there might be a lot of anxiety or getting in your head about, what if I don't want this, or what if I jump in and I start taking action and say that this is what I want, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't want that anymore. I don't want to fight for that, or I don't want to have to exert all this energy, or maybe compete, or have to put forward sort of this thing if I'm not even certain. So it's like there's a lot of energy expend here in looking at maybe what you don't want, or what has happened in the past that has been draining here. And so this has your attention in some way. So Spirit is saying here with the allow yourself to sit with what your feelings are, like your true feelings of what you want before acting, so you're not exerting energy maybe in the wrong thing, or getting involved with the wrong people, or the wrong arguments, or just the wrong dialogue about where it's going to take you, or what sort of fights and battles you got to get into. Because your self-worth and your sort of your high value person here, who should only really get involved when you're needing to get involved, you know, when it actually matters to you in some way. So what you don't see coming, we have the Sun in reverse, and we have the Ace of Cups in reverse, and we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. So yeah, this is like a giving up energy here, I'm feeling. Yeah, it's like a giving up energy, like not wanting to like fight the wrong battle, and just saying, you know what, maybe I've invested in the past in things that never really, I don't know, like reflected my self-worth, or like was worthy of my investment, or me putting in my expertise and my experience and my know-how and my effort and my time and my dedication, and like trying to really create structure and organization when it's never really amounted to full happiness for me. There's like understanding that maybe in the past you haven't been very certain or clear about what happiness looks like for you personally. And it could be, you know, when it involves connection or other people, but specifically I feel like it's emotional fulfillment within self. Like it's not reflecting back to you all the time, the energy and maybe the dedication and the expertise that you kind of bring forward. So you might be at odds with a lot of people, you know, or in the past found yourself at odds with, so I was looking for a Kleenex, I don't have one, at odds with people here, and instead of like trying to prove yourself or trying to fight to make things work, that's like, why am I even fighting to make something work here, or putting in all of this energy to try to keep something here when it's causing me nothing but headache or like strife, and it's not even really bringing me fulfillment. And maybe in the past, or maybe right now even, I don't understand this, so Spirit's wanting you to sit with this, like what would emotionally make you happy, like being very clear about this, being very certain about where your happiness lies, what would speak to your inner child here, and having like a beyond a shadow of a doubt, like before taking action or investing. Because I feel like your heart's in a good place, like you want to make things happen, so you're kind of the person that puts forward the energy to say, okay, I'm gonna, you know, if I'm just gonna keep doing things, and eventually something will pan out here, you know, the more energy and effort and dedication, then the more I can manifest, or the more something can work out. But sometimes when we just are working with other people who aren't at our capacity or at our understanding or at our level, then we are just sort of burning tires, and if that's a saying, kicking tires, no, that's buying a car. We're kind of just burning energy, okay? Yeah, so I feel like what you don't see coming here is sort of you just giving up on sort of trying to fight for an empty victory in some way that isn't going to fulfill you anyway. And then looking at this is like, now I need to kind of get very clear and certain about what can I invest in here, or put in my, you know, whatever that investment looks like my own time, my own hard work, my own sort of organization to get something going here. Like again, it's very methodical with the step by step. So I don't know, like for some of you guys it could certainly even be like a business, or something in which maybe if it's work related here, it could be a relationship as well. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's like something that's methodical, and like you've been showing up, you've been putting in energy, you've been putting in time, you've been trying to create order out of maybe chaos or structure, and time again, maybe you've been the one that's been relied on, or the one that has to keep kind of going out to sea in some way. But it's like it never sort of pays you back in some way, and emotionally you're not getting out of it any sort of contentment here. And maybe you thought you would, or maybe, yeah, maybe you thought at some point you'd be happy with this, because you could have this like sort of, you know, sort of, some people have a complex, or like a thing where if they do things for other people, or if they create order and structure, it like makes them feel happy to be wanted and validated in some way. But I feel like there's an understanding here that emotionally is something missing or not giving back to you in some way is not worth the fight. So in your opportunity, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and the Empress. Wow, that's Empress came out in the Aries reading in the challenge, kind of in the same position here. But what am I seeing here in your opportunity? Yeah, it's like your opportunity here is to stop investing with this Knight of Pentacles in things that you used to sort of invest or try to make happen here. Like, you are somebody who's very dedicated, very committed, very solid in manifesting things and actually putting your money where your mouth is and doing what you say you'll do. Like, there's a very solid energy here about you. And I feel like maybe there's something specifically, like a project or something that you've been, or some connection or some workplace or some project or business thing that you've been trying to really commit to in some way. That's been taking a very long time and been pulling at your energy. And I feel like your opportunity here is to let go, because your understanding are coming into some self-worth, like understanding you're a high value person here, like I said, and that other people need to also show up for you, or also need to pull their own weight, or not create so much conflict here, work with you and help support you rather than take from you if it's not going to emotionally fulfill you. And we have the Emperor and the Empress, which are divine counterparts here. So certainly can be, you know, you and your other half in some way, okay, if this is resonating for you in a relationship. But it could just be your own sort of two sides here, like your feminine and masculine energy coming into some sort of balance of understanding. Like, you could be a doer and capable and have all these wonderful things, but if it's not respecting your sort of your value and your appreciation and all of this stuff, like, you have to learn how to maybe put in a boundary or say no, and understand where you will be appreciated in some way. So I feel like there's a letting go of something here, or an opportunity for you to maybe even release what this is, or release the understanding. But I feel like because this is in the Pentacle realm, it's like releasing your investment in this, you know, no longer having to act towards this, or having to put your time, your energy, or your investment, however you are investing in this, towards it anymore, because you've come into some realization. Okay, what is your challenge then? We have the Two of Cups in reverse, and we have the Five of Pentacles, and we have Death. Yeah, the challenge is then having to really sort of transform through this, like leaving the past behind you because it's no longer serving you. Like, death is a massive spiritual transformation here. It's like where we can no longer be who we were in the past because we saw something that we can no longer unsee in some way. And I think what you're seeing here is things that no longer make you happy, that maybe at one point you thought your actions would create some sort of happiness, but knowing that there's a need to really transform from feeling left out in the cold in relationships, or just in experiences where you're kind of the odd man out or left out, not having other people show up for you, and having to like understand where there is balance, where if you're going to give to something and show up, that needs to kind of come reciprocal. You know, this is the partnership card. So we're in partnership with everything, relationship with everything in our lives. So it's like, if we're going to dedicate emotions, if we're going to dedicate money, if we're going to dedicate time or awareness, like, we need to get something sort of out of it. And I feel like what you're recognizing here is no matter what you sort of gave or could give to a situation, if you're feeling left out in the cold, there's a need for you to transform and to change yourself in some way that's going to shift situation. Like, you can't start giving more to something or think eventually, you know, you'll get out of the cold because the situation will change if you start sort of doing more or hanging around there. Like, this is internal sort of transformation. And I feel like it is a challenge for you, because maybe you've always been someone who, you know, had this sort of a mindset that you're having to really understand and work on here. And also this death is like the end of something, the release of something here. So it could be this thing that maybe you're emotionally attached to or have emotionally connected to in some point that just didn't work out. And so now it's like having to really transition away from this and leave this behind, not only the mindset, but whatever this is, or the idea of what this is, because it's coming to some realization that you're not being taken care of here. You're not getting what you want. And yeah, needing to take action here. Okay, so let's pull the Lenormand, or let's reveal this, and then we'll get into the advice. So we have the house, which is all about family. It could be about structure and stability, and the foundations that were around us and what we're planning as far as our daily structure. So it could even be related to, you know, the people in our workplace or job or career, but mostly it is the home. And this represents the family home, you know. So if you would consider you're a work person and your business is sort of your thing where you're spending most of your time, then that would represent your career or your work or your creative sort of passion. If you know, you're obviously resonating with this being your family and the people you call your family or your soul family, your home, then that's what this would represent. So here's the Fox, and this is the career card, okay? The Fox is a very clever sort of energy, because it is like Seven of Swords, where we need to sometimes be under the radar or be sly or try to pull something off in some way, maybe where we don't want to reveal all our cards, but sometimes it's like us being taken advantage of, where people aren't being upfront with us, and trying to like deceive us in some way or make us believe something that's not necessarily true. So I am getting mixed message for some of you guys. I don't know, like, because I am getting career. I was getting for a lot of you guys, you know, what the Emperor could represent a boss. And if you're resonating with this, it's like you're kind of seeing through your own sort of ability to work your way out of something here that maybe you figured was stable. Let's see. Okay, so we have the Man. So this Man, when it is in the Lenormand, it's like further away. This could represent someone you're dealing with masculine energy here. Okay, because sometimes it can represent your own sort of energy, but generally I would get it at the top end, not at the back end. So I feel like there's masculine energy here, and for a lot of you guys, I am feeling a boss energy. So I don't know if this isn't like your literal boss in your workplace. It's the boss of the home. So it could be your other half maybe being very argumentative and bossy and maybe trying to have their way. And they might be just, I don't know, like he has a weasel here too. So it's like lying by omission or not being completely upfront with you in some way, you know, in the home structure, or what it takes to sort of build this stability, or what it takes to build community or to create this sort of safe place. Yeah, like if someone's not showing their full cards here or revealing who they are, or if they're sort of just playing their own cards close to their chest and thinking of sort of themselves in some way, there's a need for you to kind of maybe do the same. Like to do the same as in to pull away your energy and just sort of shift out of what's not working, rather than trying to maybe keep focusing on what you can create here. If somebody is not being, I don't know, like I feel like this energy is not really being considerate of your emotions or feelings here. Maybe trying to get their way or boss over you in some way, or make you try to see something different about what structure or planning or building is. And so maybe you guys aren't seeing eye to eye, and like what the step-by-step process could be in creating and making something practical happen. So I feel like there's an opportunity here for you to just sort of let go of maybe what it was that you sort of envisioned here, because if you guys aren't agreeing in some way, someone's not seeing your full value. Okay, let's see the advice from spirits then. We have Justice in reverse. We have the King of Cups in reverse, and then we have Judgment in reverse. Oh my goodness, you guys have the double J's with the Justice and the Judgment in reverse. So yeah, I feel like you feel as though maybe someone has been unfair and just not seeing your way or your side of the story. Like, no matter what all you have put in and have gone through, and like there's a need for you to accept like what is in some way and see the truth for what it is, that no matter how much energy or effort, like if it's not resulting in something that's just or something that's fair or something that's bringing you balance in a way that, you know, if you contribute, if you invest, if you are planning, again, this step by step, like look at these steps, you know, like I feel like you've been trying to methodically kind of invest step by step in something to bring balance to a situation and to do the right thing for everyone involved. But I feel like it hasn't become balanced. And I feel like you're at the point now of knowing this or understanding this lesson, like what more needs to happen here in order for you to accept some sort of truth, or for you to have this realization that it doesn't matter now what you do in some way. The only thing that will change this is for you to release anything here, anyone or anything that is holding you back in some way, causing conflict and not reflecting back your self-worth. And so here with the King of Cups in reverse, it could be that, again, like I'm getting this, you know, deep, deep, deep sort of love here that we could experience. And I feel like we're blocked off from experiencing our true sort of emotions being reflected back to us, or allowing ourselves to express ourselves or feel, because we're dealing with maybe the minutia of more practical things is what I feel. It's like, I don't know, like maybe you really want to love, you want like, you know, the fairy tale, or you really want to, I don't know if this is like work, then it's like you want to put all your energy into like creative sort of things at work and your actual job and the parts of your work that you enjoy. But it's like you're more involved with having to maybe put out fires, or having to, you know, try to methodically sort of keep up with understanding what's going on in a practical way here, that you can't just allow yourself to feel, to connect back to your heart space. And if this is like a home situation, it's like you're too busy dealing with somebody here who's keeping you, who'd rather argue, or who'd rather not make you feel like you can express yourself or feel a full sense of love here, because you're too busy having to upkeep something here that's not fulfilling for you, and it's not reflecting back to you your self-worth. So Spirit's really saying, like, are we going to put our head in the sand here, or are we going to recognize, you know, where we truly can dive into what we want for ourselves when it comes to our emotions and feelings, and see this as something that could potentially happen for us, and believe it to be true, and understand that we can get there. But we have to understand that it doesn't come from someone else to us, and it also doesn't come from us keep sort of investing and fighting in the same battles. Like, we have to understand when it's okay to say, you know what, if something's imbalanced and unjust and I've done everything I can, I'm going to accept this as some sort of truth, so I can move forward and be happy here. If that means leaving your job, or walking away from this relationship, or understanding that you can't create that sort of vision with this person or this place that's not supportive, or it's like a one-man army in some way. So this is what I have for you guys. Beautiful Cancer. I hope this resonated for you guys. I love you so, so much. Go check out your other signs placements if this resonated for you, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my most beautiful sign of Virgo. Thank you so much for joining me. We're doing your new moon zodiac reading for the sign of Virgo. And we're looking at your overall energy, what you don't see coming, opportunity and challenge for the lunar month. I do line up all my zodiac readings with the new moon. I just feel like the messages resonate more following the lunar cycle. So my reading is timeless. Whenever you come across this sort of new moon coming in for you, will be when this energy is sitting. So do take that, although I am recording for the new moon in Pisces. So this could certainly be something that is going to resonate with this reading for you, Virgo. Let's take a look. We'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of Virgo. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. And thank you so, so much, Virgo, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. Feel free to crisscross energy. If I say it's you and it is energy around you, then that could certainly be the case. All right, so overall energy and what you don't see coming. Spirit, what does Virgo not see coming for this lunar month? Thank you so much. What is the opportunity for Virgo? Opportunity for Virgo for this lunar month. Thank you so, so much. Take the one that revealed itself. Nine of Cups. And your challenge. Your challenge. All right, and we'll look at advice from Spirit. Advice from the Spirit for Virgo. All right, and we will be pulling Lenormand cards to give it a little more depth here to the reading for Virgo Spirit. Can we please get the energy for Virgo for this lunar month? Thank you so much. Oh, wow. You guys got 4. Okay. And one oracle card. This is the energy Spirit is wanting you guys to encompass for this lunar month. What is the energy Virgo's needing to encompass? Okay. So what do we have, beautiful Virgo? I will ask Spirit to not let any of my biases impact this reading. I have very heavy Virgo placements, so I do ask that Spirit help me to channel this message unbiased. Thank you so, so much. All right, we have Sun, Divine Masculine energy, Source energy. This is empowerment. This is creating things. This is making things happen, getting empowered. Leo energy. So this is beautiful, beautiful energy here. It's very vibrant. Okay, so Spirit is showing an energy of creator energy, like actually getting empowered to make things happen. Okay, and it might require you to take action because Divine Masculine energy is one that takes action, is kind of a doer sort of energy. We'll see how this plays in. I don't know if maybe you're finally feeling vibrant, you know, or Spirit is encouraging some sort of vibrancy, or maybe encouraging you to take action to create something here, or come into some sort of masculine energy, potentially. Okay, so Leo energy. Let's get into your reading, Virgo. We have the Star in reverse, and we have the Fool, and we have the Empress in reverse. So we have Aquarius and Taurus energy, and 3 major arcana here. Wow. Okay, so what is going on here? I feel as though there is a need for you to empower yourself, okay, with potentially looking at something here that I feel might have proven to not work out for you with the Star in reverse. Sorry, these cards are really hard to pick up off the table here. So with the Star in reverse, it's like something that didn't work out. Something that maybe you had as a wish or a vision of something that you saw that didn't work out, or that you lost hope in working out, or you could see that it's not working out. It didn't provide you the abundance. It didn't create the thing you wanted to create, because I feel like there was a desire for you to create something, like birth something. You know, the Empress birthed something, and Source is all the creator here. So I feel like, yeah, there was something you wanted to birth, something you wanted to create. And I feel like it didn't create this. And so there's like a disappointment here. But in the middle here, we have the Fool, which is all about, you know, maybe having to start again in some way. So I don't know, you're kind of contemplating, although knowing better and understanding something better, but contemplating taking another chance at something I think you already tried. It feels kind of like a foolish action here to me, Virgo. Like, I think you understand you didn't create something you wanted. I feel like something wasn't abundant. Something maybe didn't reflect back to you your value, or didn't allow you to birth what you wanted within it. And so there's a pull from the universe for you to create your own abundance, for you to take charge to make something happen. And you're kind of looking at the thing that passed, the thing that didn't work, and considering, like, do I take another chance here? But I feel like it would be foolish in some way, or at least you're thinking this. Okay, I don't know yet because we're not seeing, but there's like an energy here of, would I be foolish to try this again in some way? Like, because I feel like there's nothing new here except for you just doing it again in some way. So we could be repeating something again from a starting point that never really panned out, or didn't happen in some way, or didn't manifest something that was supposed to sort of be birthed of this. So we'd have to be starting from the drawing board again. And I see you kind of in this contemplative mode, like, should I even do this, or would this be foolish? Like, and knowing here, because I feel like there's an understanding and a knowing that you could create your own sort of happiness, and that you can be empowered to put your energy towards something that would be fulfilling and would create. But here you are still kind of looking at something that didn't fulfill you, or couldn't come to fruition in some way. And maybe we haven't fully healed from what the experience has been. So we're kind of looking back on it like, do I need to learn more? Do I still need to stay here and experience some more disappointment, or some more from this sort of sad story that hasn't amounted to something here, and sort of sit and suffer again, is kind of what I'm picking up here for overall. Okay, so let's see what you don't see coming. We have the Five of Swords in reverse, the Two of Wands, and the Sun. The Sun coming out twice. Now, when I pull the Sun, it's such a positive card, regardless if it's upright or reverse, because the Sun, it highlights all the positivity in the reading, and it kind of waters down all the negative sort of energy, or the darker energy, or the dark attributes of the cards, kind of. So I feel like with the two suns here, like, I'm feeling a very positive sort of energy here, because I feel there's an empowerment here, and a control maybe that you haven't felt you've had. I mean, this is universe telling you to take control. And I feel like what you don't see coming here is an understanding here with the Sun, like a clarity, an understanding that you have control, you can take control, and that the decision is kind of up to you here with this Two of Wands, to get out of conflict with the Five of Swords. So I feel like whatever you were, I don't know, these are so hard to pick up. Whatever situation you were involved with here, I feel like was disappointing, okay? I feel like you maybe lost hope in it ever producing anything for you, and you're kind of looking at it like spilt milk in some way, because it never produced, but there's some sort of like sadness I'm feeling here. And so with what you don't see coming, it's like, to get out of this Five of Swords energy, we have to make an active choice to get empowered to do so, to choose something different than what we've done in the past. And I feel like there's an understanding here, and a clarity, and a sense of empowerment. So maybe you now get empowered to see where in the past maybe you would have jumped in, and now there's this pause, hesitation in jumping in blindly again and repeating something, you know, or just kind of doing it again for the sake of trying to have a different outcome that wasn't fruitful. And so there is a pause here in what you don't see coming. It's like, okay, I have the choice here to really choose the path that I can create, and actually be empowered to make what I want out of something here. And do I want to experience another Five of Swords? And I feel like this Five of Swords was with somebody else, okay, because we're seeing the two people. So it could have been just we couldn't see eye to eye in some way, or whoever here was sabotaging, okay, because Five of Swords is always this sabotage sort of energy where we could self-sabotage and ruin it for the other, or the other could be self-sabotage, ruin it for us, or just whatever happens here, it's like we can't find cohesion in some way because we're of two minds. I'm getting an energy here of two really close people is what I'm getting here. Like, and they're bandaged up, so I'm getting like that spiritual warrior energy, like two people who might have gone through quite an experience here, who are very close. Somebody feels, well, both people feel very wounded here, but somebody feels a little more wounded than the other and has their back turned. I might be very guarded and defensive here in some way, and I feel like your energy is coming through here. Again, crisscross it as you see fit, but coming here like trying to piece someone together, hold someone together, or keep someone from feeling as broken as maybe they are, or hurt in some way. But I feel like you've been maybe stabbed in the meantime, not literally, but like betrayed or let down or conflicted, or there's been a lot of sabotage in some way, and maybe you expected with, or I don't know, or hoped or had a vision of something that could be here. If you were to engage and invest and piece someone together or put someone whole in some way. Now we know we can't do this, but there's an understanding of if I could be there and help support someone or put them together or help bandage them or keep them together, that eventually you could create or see your self-worth or something here. But I feel like it hasn't, and I feel like this person might have turned their back on you or might be very defensive. And so I feel like there's what you don't see coming is you seeing this, you seeing this as, I have the decision here to make. Like, am I going to just keep sort of bandaging up someone who keeps taking apart their bandages, or doesn't want to be bandaged up, or doesn't want to heal, and just kind of have their back here at my own sort of, I don't know, like my own sort of sacrifice of self, or my own sort of self-worth, or being valued here, appreciated for the Empress that I am, and having to understand how to put a boundary and understand self-worth and what it is that you're wanting to create here, and maybe not give up on a dream or a vision or a hope of something you want. Yeah, like having this clarity and this understanding and the certainty and understanding what makes you happy, and that you'd have to choose to go down that path. Okay, so let's look at your opportunity. So I don't know if I flipped this one around. It fell the way it did. I don't know if it was upright or reversed, but I'm more reading energy here. And because this is the only card that sort of revealed itself, I feel like it usually means to me, like when a card is face up, it's like this is something that you're aware of or conscious of. If things are, face down, it's like things in the subconscious or maybe that you're not quite seeing. So sitting in the opportunity, we have this 9 of Cups. So it's like the opportunity is you understanding that you can find emotional fulfillment, and that's what the Sun is about. Like, this is about finding contentment and joy and bliss, and understanding that we're empowered to go after this. Like, our inner child understands this within ourselves, that we deserve to be happy, that we could create our own happiness in some way. And to find emotional happiness for self, it's one that we would have to, stand in our self-worth and see our own self-worth here. So I feel like the opportunity here is for you to know what emotionally fulfills you, what brings you emotional happiness towards you, like personally yourself, like not how to make another person sort of happy or how to create something with someone else if it's not bringing you emotional happiness or reflecting your self-value. So we have the Magician here. Yeah, and the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like understanding that the power is sort of in your hand with the Magician to create your own happiness. But the Magician could be one of, it's like not really considering sort of other people so much as using everything in your own disposal here to make magic happen, to get something done for yourself, to bring towards you something here that you want for yourself in order to be emotionally happy. And I feel like the opportunity here is for you to get out of the cold. Like, if you've been in the 5 of Swords energy, which is somebody maybe turning their back on you, maybe not wanting to work with you, or just sabotaging whatever sort of you've been trying to find some sort of cohesion here with this person or make things work. It's like, no matter what, if they're not willing to create or to, I don't know, bring you in or allow things to have some sort of hope or some sort of positive future vision, then you feel like you're just going to be left out in the cold and shut out from something here. So I feel like Spirit's showing like your opportunity is to come to some sort of understanding that you can manifest your own happiness. You don't have to stay out in the cold. You don't have to, yeah, like be at the mercy of things and people and situations going on around you, especially if you know that you're empowered enough and you could see it and you understand what makes you emotionally happy and you have everything it takes to make yourself emotionally happy. Then you're kind of like, well, why am I kicking around here for? Like I don't need to stick around here. Like, this isn't reflecting, you know, who I am or what I'm about here. So your opportunity is to get in line with what you can do for yourself, with what you have for yourself, in order to align yourself better with things that emotionally fulfill you and not keep you out or shut out, in order to find this change. So your challenge here, Virgo, we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, and the Nine of Swords in reverse. Challenge, it's like, yeah, like no matter what you could do to show up here with the Three of Pentacles, another entity needs to make itself available in order to create the third entity, okay? Because the Three of Pentacles is all about the people we work with, or the situation that we're working with has to be doable in some way to create synergy, so we could create a third sort of thing, like a positive outcome. You know, like two people coming together would create like a relationship, which is like the synergy of two people. Or if this is like a workplace, it's like the workplace has to provide you with a safe place for you to do what it is you need to do, or the tools you need in order to be successful in the workplace. And if they're not willing to cooperate or show up, it's like you can no longer sort of engage or create, no matter how much you are empowered, no matter how much insight you have, no matter how much you sort of have this inner, I don't know, there's this inner child, beautiful energy coming from you. And then there's this like knowing something that you hoped would happen isn't happening, or isn't reflecting back to you because it's not capable of showing up or being there in some way that will allow you to work. So the challenge here is like learning how to sort of surrender, like Seven of Wands, like just kind of not keep fighting for something here if it's incapable of showing up. Like, it doesn't matter how much you stand your ground and try to fight for something here, you can't represent the other side of this equation. And so I feel like Nine of Swords in reverse, it's like the mental prison we sort of put ourselves in, and sitting in our own mind and thinking about things that coulda, woulda, shoulda in some way. And the mind plays these tricks on us because it fears us sometimes, where we get so fearful, and it's mostly stories in our head than actual reality here. I feel like the challenge is you coming to some sort of understanding logically within yourself here, that you're not sort of giving up on yourself in some way, or giving up on some dream or some hope, but that you're sort of surrendering here to a situation that didn't make itself available to cooperate or collaborate with you to create something. So you're kind of surrendering to this so you can free yourself from some mental burden or some mind trap that kept you kind of stuck. And I feel that's the challenge, is like accepting that you can't fight for someone else or put yourself in someone else's sort of shoes to make it happen, no matter how much doership energy you have here, you know, because I feel like you're definitely someone who makes things happen. And I feel like your heart's in a really good place, and you're seeing things very clearly, but you see it, but the challenge is for you to sort of then accept it mentally, to surrender to this acceptance. Interesting. Okay, let's get the Lenormand cards to take a look at a deeper layer here. Oh my gosh, you guys got the sun 3 times. I don't think I've ever got a sun 3 times in a reading here. Okay, you guys might have very strong Leo in your chart. Okay, heavy Leo placements or whatever energy you're sort of dealing with here, but divine masculine energy, you know, this is a very beautiful, beautiful energy. I love sun energy, although because we have so much sun, sometimes the light, what I'm getting here is like, it's so bright that when our light is very bright, things that are wanting to remain dark get sort of pushed away because they might not be ready for the light, you know, like, and too much light, it could be blinding in some way. So there might be a need to find balance here because divine masculine energy all in the upright. And then we have the Empress here, you know, in the reverse, which is divine feminine energy. So it's like maybe you're very strong in knowing what you want, going after what you need in a masculine way, trying to problem solve, trying to, you know, really be the doer in some way here, where the feminine energy and the Empress is like saying, well, I understand my value here and I'm not going to just make myself available and shine my light in some place that might not be reciprocal or appreciating me and allowing some sort of creation or birthing process here that would benefit me as well, or that would bring some balance here. So it's learning our boundaries, our self-worth and our value, and knowing how to unconditionally love ourselves. So we have the sun, we have the clover, very, very positive. These are the 2 most positive cards in the Lenormand deck. Ladybug's all about luck. Clover's all about luck. It's like the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot, things spinning in a positive way here. We see the camels, which for me is always kind of like a test of endurement. Why does it sound like I'm saying it wrong? Endurement. Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying it wrong and why it sounds wrong, but it's like the camel can wander in the desert, right? Like without water and especially like all the sun energy. I feel like you've been starved from water energy, which represents emotions in the tarot. Like maybe you're just really, really in an environment here that hasn't been giving to you love, has been starving you of love, starving you of expressing love. And so this is like very like dry energy and you're kind of wandering this desert, and like I see 3 camels, so it's like maybe there's been like attempt after attempt after attempt, still trying to find like the watering hole or the love that's supposed to come, and like realizing like it's not coming, like lost hope here, and like, do I still wander this desert like this camel, shining my light here? And eventually, if I shine my light, eventually, you know, there will be light, and maybe this person or this situation will see the light, that I can actually like fix something here. But I mean, the Spirit is really showing like we can wander in this desert forever in the sunlight and eventually we'll just dehydrate. So I don't know, like things are turning here though. Like this is luck being on our side. And here we see the fox and here we see the book. So fox is all about, it could be about career, okay, but fox could also be about tricky energy. This is like 7 of Swords energy, where someone's sly or maybe not being honest or upfront or not being completely, upfront here, because the book's all about knowledge. And this book's closed, so it's like information we still don't know, or that still needs to be revealed in some way, like High Priestess information. Like something's hidden in regards to what we're not seeing. And maybe there's like information that's being omitted on purpose or just by the divine, because again I get like Wheel of Fortune energy here, that once we find out this information, or once we shed lights here on information that helps us to maybe see where there's been lies or where there's been information that's been omitted, that would allow us to be empowered to move towards things that would be abundant, and not you know, try to see what we want to see, because I feel like something's distorted here. No matter how much of the light we're sort of shining, I feel like something is distorted here, and maybe we haven't been seeing it clearly, or we've been deceiving ourselves in some way, or information hasn't been given to us in an upfront way here. So the book still is closed and there's more to sort of understand. And maybe you've been trying to wander this desert, trying to understand and change a set of circumstances. That's more what I'm feeling. It's like, I'll keep shedding the light here and keep adding more camels here to change a set of circumstances that maybe the universe has my back, that I don't need to take action here, that I don't need to be so empowered, that I need to fall back on my Empress energy and allow the universe to sort of sort out and just be receptive to what the universe is giving to me without having to piece people together or situations that aren't showing up for me because they're not being upfront or they're not being open and communicating to me, or I'm not working with a full puzzle piece here. So yeah, it's like this is what you're having to really kind of go through, is identifying this experience or this understanding within self. And I don't know where you guys all sit with this, but it's like the key is sort of in your hand to make a decision based on what is relevant to you, you know, that the universe can bring to you abundance. Like this is a lot of abundance here, like so much sun. Like I think you understand you deserve abundance, happiness, joy, contentment. You deserve to birth something here. I feel you really want to create something here. I feel there's so much unconditional love here, but I feel like the self-worth here is needing to really be exercised in a way that says, if I'm not getting all the information, you know, am I going to continue to kind of lie to myself, or am I going to continue working with people who aren't being open up front with me? Or am I just going to throw it up to the universe and say, you know, let me shine my light where I can? Because again, there's like not getting one's emotional fulfillment here. And that would stand to reason your opportunity, this Nine of Cups, because this is getting emotionally fulfilled. And I feel like this is what you want. You want to be emotionally happy. And here I feel like you're emotionally starved in some way, or really like just, you know, dry here. And I feel like you're outputting so much light. Like there's a lot of light coming from you here, like 3 suns. Like 3 suns could be significant for somebody here. You might have three suns, literally. And the fact that we have 3 camels, I'm getting very strongly now. The 3s being significant. This could be 3 attempts. This could be 3rd time's a charm in making the right decision and not repeating something here potentially. Yeah, something with 3 is coming through very strong. Okay, so let's take a look at your advice, Virgo. We have the 5 of Cups in reverse, the Death, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, before I forget, because I think I forgot for Cancer to read the signs, we have Virgo, of course, and then Gemini energy. We have Aquarius, we have Taurus, we have lots of Leo, and we have Scorpio, and then we have Virgo coming out again, Taurus coming out again, and Capricorn energy with the Queen of Pentacles, which I feel represents your energy. So what is Spirit showing? This message is quite clear to me. Okay, I feel like you are a pretty solid person. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, this is someone who understands their value, who's pretty secure on their own. Someone who is grounded, who's abundant, who knows their self-worth. Although I feel like in this situation, I feel like maybe it's brought you out of your element. It's left you feeling very confused here in some way, because you're not dealing with a full sort of information. And so you're kind of out of your element here, and having to learn some sort of lesson in self-worth that's outside of what maybe you're used to here in the Queen of Pentacles, which is more of a practical way. Whereas the Empress is kind of all suits in one. So I feel like maybe when it comes to emotions, there's a lesson being learned here. So maybe you're very much in a practical way, obviously being Virgo here, like, you know, financially stable, knowing what you need to sort of create stability and structure in your life in some way. But when it comes to emotions, maybe not understanding what it is that you need, or not knowing it in some way, that how to get emotional fulfillment and attainment is not by continuously maybe trying to piece someone together, or to work with energies that maybe have proven themselves to be 5 of Swords and to let you down in some way, or having to heal some sort of, you know, wound here that's needing to transform you in some way, because that's all about leaving behind what doesn't work in order for us to transform. And I feel like this situation is one that's left you very disappointed. Five of Cups is feeling very sad, you know, looking at the past, what didn't work and what did not work in a situation here. And we can reminisce and keep stuck on what didn't work and what we can do and kind of feel bad and emotionally sort of be hung up on this, or we can choose to pull ourselves out of this sort of state so we can move towards something that is emotionally fulfilling. I don't know, I'm getting kind of a weird energy now here, because maybe for some of you guys, it's like, I don't want to feel this sort of emotional letdown. And so there's this need to obviously like let go of something, or let something kind of die off here in a very transformative way, because it is the Death card, which is more of a spiritual transformation. But I feel like this is you kind of left on your own sort of original state, although this isn't original state. Like, I feel as though, I don't know if this is making sense for some of you guys, but it's like the only emotional lesson or feelings here that we've experienced was something we did not want to feel. And so it's like, I don't know, like, don't let it kind of get you cold. Don't let it kind of turn you into thinking you don't need to experience emotional fulfillment, you know, because you have an opportunity here for you to have emotional fulfillment. And it's like, maybe you're seeing this because you're losing hope in some way, and this is what you're having to heal. It's like, because something didn't work in a situation here, we could continue to say, well, it didn't work, so therefore, you know, emotion's not for me, or relationship not for me, or this sort of whatever I was trying to create here is not for me. And I feel like you're sort of either not wanting to go there anymore because it's too painful, or not allowing yourself to fully flesh this out in some ways for you to transform, or you're just kind of saying, I won't let myself sort of feel down because of all this sun energy. It's like, I won't let anything sort of get in my light energy or rock my foundation or pull me out of this secure place that I'm in, you know? Like, I feel like, you know, you're secure, your self-worth, and in sort of a practical way, but I feel like you probably aren't very aware of what you deserve emotionally here. Like, you deserve to have emotional give and take here. And maybe this is something like really in the subconscious that's really pressed down. Like, how do you understand this, you know, without having to go through this lesson, or without letting yourself kind of feel or go through the emotions of reflecting back on something here, and allowing yourself to let die off the pieces of yourself that understand, like, you know, what you're responsible for and what other people are responsible for. Like, you're not responsible for how other people show up. Other people's energy has nothing to do with sort of you and what you do. You know, you can be 3 suns here and still not get equal reciprocity here emotionally, or be sort of dried out in some way. Yeah, so Spirit is just wanting you to allow yourself to process, you know, what didn't work. And if you do process what didn't work and allow yourself to feel this, it's like there will be a massive transformation here, and that your foundation won't be rocked. Like, you're still able to create some sort of success here for yourself, and that you're still able to find emotional fulfillment. That's the thing, you know, as long as you learn this lesson or come to some understanding and have the awareness here about your self-worth and really feel and understand this, you know, because I feel there's a heavy disappointment here in looking at something like, I don't want to have to do this again. So this is what I see for you guys, Virgo. I hope this helped. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to check out your other placements, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful Gemini. Welcome to your new moon zodiac reading. So all my zodiac readings, I line up with the new moon because I do find the messages resonate a little better for the lunar month rather than the calendar month. So we're looking at the sign of Gemini. I don't know if I called you Gemini. Gemini for this lunar month. I am filming for the new moon in Pisces Although this is a timeless reading, so whenever you stumble across the video, the message was meant for you as long as it resonates with the next new moon for that lunar cycle. So we're looking at your overall energy, Gemini, and then what you don't see coming. We'll be looking at opportunity, challenge, and then of course advice from spirits. So Spirit, clear and concise message for the beautiful sign of Gemini. What is the overall energy here for Gemini? Clear and concise message. Please protect me and Gemini as I channel this message. Now, please crisscross energy as you see fit. If I say it's your energy and it sounds like someone around you, then you can certainly crisscross the energy. This could be for sun, moon, rising sign, or just heavy placements in Gemini for you or anyone you are checking in on. Okay, so overall energy for Gemini. Spirit, clear and concise message for Gemini, overall energy. And we have what you don't see coming, what you don't see coming, and opportunity for Gemini, opportunity, spirits. Four of Cups showing up, opportunity for Gemini. Challenge for Gemini. Challenge for Gemini. Perfect. And advice for Gemini, spirit. I've got 5 cards for advice. All right. And I'm going to pull some Lenormand cards for some depth to this reading for Gemini. Can we get 3 cards here for Gemini for the energy sitting with Gemini for this lunar month? Thank you so much, Spirit. All right. And finally, 1 oracle card, which is the energy Spirit is wanting you to encompass for this lunar month. What is the energy Spirit is wanting you to encompass? Okay, let's start with your oracle card. We have Venus, beautiful energy of Venus. Venus is the ruling planet for Taurus and Libra. So Taurus is very grounded, practical energy, and Libra, of course, very balanced. It's also about physical beauty and the luxuries of life and really seeing the beauty around you. I'm getting an energy here of needing to tend to things maybe that have been slowly slipping. Okay, so if you feel like there's certain things in your life that have been slipping, you know, I think it's starting to catch up on you or catch up to you, or maybe mentally it could be draining you in some way, or maybe in the back of your mind, maybe you're not realizing why you're as tired or why you're maybe feeling not your full self, or maybe it's just some thoughts that you've been putting off here. But I feel like there's something coming through here of needing to sort of pamper yourself, okay? Like before it catches up to you, like before you start to feel like you need it. Spirit is wanting you to do it. Like, I don't know, have a spa day or go out to eat at a fancy restaurant for once and spoil yourself in some way here, or get your hair done or your nails done, or like whatever, your beard manicured, or buy a new pair of outfit or shoes, or a whole new sort of ensemble. There's something here that Spirit's wanting you to spoil yourself in order for you to be your best self. So maybe you're feeling very down about something here. Like I know when I have to get like completely all out in some way, like, and I say all out, it's because like I'll go and I'll just like, I don't know, just get my hair done, my nails done, my everything done, and just like whatever, like go out to eat, feel like really good because I'm feeling like really either down on myself or let down, or like something about myself is like off in some way. And so I'm needing to sort of bring up my energy. I haven't done that in a while, but I feel like there's a need to bring up some energy or find a balance in something you're feeling, that this would kind of help to boost up your sort of confidence, or maybe just make you feel better while, I don't know, maybe you're just having to process something that's making you feel down, or starting to sort of just eat at you in some way here. Okay, so let's take a look at your overall energy here, Gemini. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse. We have the Strength in reverse. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so the Nine of Pentacles to me is this sort of need to, you know, do something for self. Like Nine of Pentacles is a very confident energy. It's like, I can build this on my own. I don't really need anyone on my own. I could stand on my own. I could be successful and abundant without anyone or anything and just kind of do my thing here and be abundant and successful. And I feel like there's a need to do this because maybe you've experienced something here that you haven't yet processed, or like the end of something here that hasn't quite yet been released, that's been painful, and maybe you're trying to get over, like, I don't know, like a breakup or an end of something, that an end of a chapter here that didn't work out or was a blow to your confidence in some way. So it's like, how can I find the courage to find that confidence within me? Or not even courage, it's like the confidence within me, you know, that strength, that inner strength that I have that understands my self-worth. Like, I know I'm a self-worthy person. I know I'm strong. I know I'm confident. I know I'm courageous. I know I'm all these things, but I'm starting to question it because of an experience I had that was a blow to my self-confidence that made me sort of see myself as someone who's less than or weak or couldn't find something within myself in order to keep something going or be successful at something that didn't pan out. And so I'm taking a lot of the burden on me as the reason it didn't work. And so there might still be a lot of confusion about, like, what was my role in this? Like, did I have any part in why it didn't work? You know, was I clear about what my role was here in something, or was I the reason why it didn't really work? And now you're taking on a lot of sort of that heavy burden as to why you think you're at fault here about something, which I feel is self-imposed, because I feel Spirit is saying, like, you're this beautiful, confident energy here, and to indulge in things here that will tide you over so that you can finally see clearly in a situation, because right now your emotions might be quite strong because it might still be fresh energy, or you haven't quite processed all the unknowns about why something didn't work out. And so we just stay in this energy of not feeling confident enough for the next thing. And Spirit's saying, like, you are definitely strong and confident here. So in order to gain that is, like, be there for yourself, like, be your own sort of stability, your own sort of win here, until you start getting the clarity and the certainty here, and understanding, and a better understanding of your own sort of position here. You know, it's not maybe as in the same way that you're seeing it. You might be taking a lot of this fault as your own. Yeah, like there's still an obstacle here in having to see clearly. There's still something here you're having to overcome. You're still processing emotions. So I have Leo energy coming through here. So what you don't see coming, Gemini, we have 10 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Fool in reverse. And we have the Six of Swords in reverse. So I feel like something didn't work out. Okay, with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, it's like we have two tens, which is always about an ending here. And it was maybe something that we kind of pegged our security on. It's like something else kind of carried that security, like, but it was having to also align with us in order for us to be successful. And so because this thing didn't really work out, like this job or this relationship or this thing that we were depending on also pulling its own weight, did not. And we might have got the rug pulled from under us. So it's like we need to kind of rely on our own self here. Yeah, or we could stay in sort of this place of feeling stuck, you know, feeling bad about ourselves, or like not allowing ourselves to have a new beginning. So Spirit's saying, like, what you don't see coming is, like, you could fall victim to not allowing yourself to make space for something new, not allowing yourself to move forward, not allowing yourself to engage in things here that would make you feel very successful, confident, beautiful, empowered, and successful, if we're still sort of mourning something here when there's no need to sort of beat ourselves up more than we need to. Like, allow ourselves to still allow these thoughts to come in, but not have to suffer there or stay in that sort of heavy energy, because it does feel like something that you could have a choice to break free from, but we might not understand that we're doing this in some way, or foolishly sort of staying in our mind about something, or staying in that punishment, rather than freeing ourselves and moving forward. And we could be in an energy here that feels like we don't deserve. Yeah, because of what's happened here. So it's kind of like this vicious, this vicious sort of loop I feel you're stuck in, Gemini. It's like, because our confidence is low because of what has happened here, it's like we might feel like we're not ready or deserve this, but then it's like, well, in order to deserve this, like Spirit saying, well, we got to move to here, and then we start to kind of fake it till we make it, or bathe in that energy, and then you start to feel more empowered. But it's like you can't find that strength within you, so you sort of stay in this sort of looped energy here that doesn't allow you to make space or move towards something that is going to make you feel better. So your opportunity, we have this Four of Cups that revealed itself, and normally when I have cards that reveal themselves, it's like things that are out in the open or that you're aware of. Anything that's kind of face down would be, in our subconscious, or things we're not quite seeing. So because the Four of Cups is here, this is something you're kind of aware of. And Four of Cups is where we are sort of having to process emotional disappointment. It's like, for me, it's like breakup energy, where the universe might be wanting to give a new experience that would have value, that would make us feel emotionally fulfilled, and we're like, no, I still kind of want to, I don't know, like sit here in my misery in some way here, or just look at what didn't happen and kind of relive or replay this thing here. So we're not interested in anything new. So I don't know why this isn't the opportunity. Let's take a look what's going on here. So we have Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and then we have the Hangman. Yeah, so your opportunity here is to gain a new perspective, okay? Here's the Sun, it keeps coming out. It's like to see clearly here that what has happened here, whatever didn't work in a way, it was nothing to do with your own sort of reflection of your own self-worth and value. And maybe, what you thought would pan out, what you thought would work and move forward in some way, like it didn't. So it kind of stopped you in your tracks, and you're thinking, well, now I need to sort of sit here and suffer in some way, or the universe wants to punish me and sit here and, I don't know, like have to sit here without enjoying the benefits that the universe can give to me because I kind of deserve it in some way. But the opportunity here is saying, no, Gemini, like you can change how you see this completely. Like it's up to you to sort of change your perspective and know that what you experienced here had nothing to do with your own self-worth or anything that's going to now diminish you as a person here, that you're capable of seeing this from a completely different point of view and understand it in a way that helps to empower you. You don't have to be stuck to this sort of mindset. Whatever didn't work, it doesn't tie you back to it. It's like sometimes things don't work, but we are able to untie ourselves from things that don't work in order to move towards things that could work with us. We just have to see it from a different sort of understanding. And sometimes it's hard to come to that understanding, on our own, especially if we're always kind of still replaying or not allowing ourselves the energy to move forward. It's like, it's like you're telling yourself you're not ready because you're not deserving in some way, or just you need to process or suffer here. And the universe is saying like, no, you don't have to do that, like slowly start to do that, like go out or, like leave the house or experience another sort of connection in some way that's going to bring you sort of new energy, even if it's just for a little bit, so you could start to get new insight. So it doesn't kind of keep you stuck in a cyclical mindset of, well, I never go out, I never meet anyone, or I'm never going to find this job like this, or whatever this thing mindset is. It keeps us kind of stuck in not being interested in moving forward. But it's because we're in this mindset and not allowing ourselves to see this differently that we kind of stay stuck there. So your opportunity is the universe saying you have the power here to understand that you could see the light once you start to engage in things here that make you feel a lot better and see your self-value and your self-worth. So we have the 10 of Cups in the challenge and the 8 of Cups in reverse in the challenge and the 2 of Cups. So for a lot of you guys, this certainly could be a relationship that has ended or something you're trying to process here that maybe you had a lot of stability in or thought you'd have a long-term structure here with this planning. You know, like there was an idolized vision of what you could create here and find emotional happiness here with another and find balance. And I think the challenge here is you emotionally having to really just walk away from the idea that you had of this coming together, like this utopic sort of vision of the ideal relationship or balanced give and take here within you in this situation. And so we stay kind of stuck here, unhappy, not knowing that in order to find our 9th cup, we have to walk away from, you know, this 8 of Cups. And so I feel like the challenge is you, yeah, like walking away from this, like, because what you don't see coming, it's like, I don't know, there's an energy here of feeling like you deserve to suffer in some way, or that you emotionally need to still sit here when there is a balanced give and take union you could find here in a partnership. This isn't the only thing that is going to bring you this 10 of Cups. But I feel like maybe in your mind or in your heart or your soul, you feel like this is the only job or the only relationship or the only thing that was going to fulfill me and bring this sort of happiness, this 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. Although it wasn't balanced in some way here, because I feel you wanted to have a balance. And so the challenge is recognizing, like, okay, where am I going to find this balance? And can I be honest about my situation here in a way that allows me to release myself from how I was seeing this as the be all end all, you know, and it really not providing me with this. All right, so let's take a look at the Lenormand cards before we get into the advice to get a little bit more deeper into this reading. We have the Key. This is all about knowledge, understanding, okay? And sometimes it's like information that we get that makes us see clearly after that maybe we didn't know or we had to come to understand. So because it's in the egg, it's like some piece of information being birthed or having to, yeah, like wait for the information so we could see the answer, you know, to the next sort of thing here. Yes. Okay. So we have the Heart and we have the Rats. So in this position, it's like the Heart is all about love. Okay. This could be like what we give love to, how we show love and give love, receive love. It could be like the Lovers in the tarot here with the Lenormand deck. And it's like, there's this like annoyance, nagging sort of energy here that's sitting here in your emotions. And I feel like it's like you having to understand something either within self or having to really birth this understanding or this piece of information. And how we birth this, I feel is like we have to take some sort of action here in, again, that fake it till you make it, but it's almost like step out and slowly start to get into that. And then eventually we'll build our self-confidence. But if we stay in this sort of nagging energy here, we start to repeat and play out more annoyances and more things that we're unhappy about, you know, like we start to pick at ourselves in situation and starts to feel even worse about things, and it slowly starts to just eat away at us, you know, when we could be focused on what is going to sort of bring me happiness here rather than what didn't work and what am I going to stick to, like why it isn't working and what I felt I did wrong or what I could have done different, coulda, woulda, shoulda. And it's like, no, like just understand that once you start to move forward, once you, like there's the Lion here, once you start to build in that confidence, okay, which might take time, it then allows you to see things here and understand things about love and about yourself and how to receive and give love in a way that's balanced for you. rather than what becomes more of an annoyance and kind of like a long-term suffering or a nagging sort of energy here that's bringing you down rather than lifting you up. Okay, let's take a look at your advice, because that's very interesting energy. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse, the High Priestess in reverse, Four of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. So, High Priestess in reverse. This is like the piece of information we're not seeing yet. I don't know. I feel like you guys are trying to maybe get closure. You know, like, because in that Ten of Swords in reverse, it's like, I don't know, like you're waiting for closure still. Something you don't see or understand fully. And it's like Spirit saying, like, you're not going to just get the closure sometimes in situations. Like, you got to kind of make your own closure by seeing things differently. Like the understanding will come to you once you shift your energy and your perspective about how you're thinking the closure might come. And so I feel like you're keeping yourself sort of hostage or away from being inspired to like still enjoy things and express yourself and go after kind of what you want until you get closure or an understanding here of something that's still hidden or unknown. And I feel like what you're really wanting here was some sort of structure, some sort of stability. Like for me, Four of Wands is that building that foundation, coming together, building that like family sort of home. It's your community. And I feel like you're wanting something to really kind of come together here and not knowing how to do this and feeling like you got sort of the short end of the deal here with the Five of Pentacles left out in the cold. And so we could be constantly like having the same dialogue about what didn't work here and, you know, how could I have fought for this, or should I keep fighting for this sort of thing, or keeping alive my position here about being Five of Pentacles. You know, it's like sometimes we have to just accept defeat in a way that says, you know what, I don't want to be out in the cold, and understand the pain is just not worthy of us sitting in here, even if we don't have closure. And even if we were right, or we had something we wanted to kind of fight for here, it's like, at what cost, you know? Like, yeah, like at what cost do we want to sit here fighting for something here and trying to understand something here where we're missing out on something that we could build now, you know? But we'd rather just kind of say, I'd rather sit at Five of Pentacles because this was like the be all end all in some way, even though I'm not seeing something here because it hasn't made itself sort of clear or available to my knowing. And so here I'll sit and not allow myself to move towards a Four of Wands, or move towards people who wants to engage with me, move towards the happiness, allow myself to find the confidence. I'll just kind of sit here until this closure comes in some way. Yeah, but because the rats are here and the knowledge and the information is here, it's like you have to remove the rats, which is you have to remove the dialogue, you have to remove the self-speak, you have to remove the mindset here. It's your opportunity, okay? And how you do this is you step towards allowing yourself to feel better, to build your confidence step by step. It might not come all the way, but eventually you won't need closure in this situation. I'm also picking up from the beginning of the reading with the erosion or the need to kind of take care of self because something was like building. I feel like if something hasn't ended, which I feel something has, maybe there's like a buildup here of something not working. Like there's like a nagging, not working, and it's starting to pile up here, like something needing maintenance. And it's like all the things are stacking up why it's not working in some way. And maybe we're just really hung up on, I don't know, like our own sort of vision of what we thought could be ideal in some way. And so we don't want to walk away from it. We want to make it work. We're not allowing ourselves to say, hey, this isn't bringing me emotional happiness. Yeah, I'm really feeling this for some of you guys. It's like being very honest and seeing the light and saying, I can keep continuously giving to something here that I believe would be emotional fulfillment and stability and a long-term happiness here that would be balanced in some way. So I'm going to continuously sort of punish myself here rather than walk towards what is and allow the universe to pull me out of something here so that I can get very honest and clear with myself and see things kind of for what it is. That this is eating away at my self-confidence. This is like slowly piling up into something that doesn't make me feel comfortable. It's not bringing the foundation or the stability that I'm really needing in my life. It's keeping me kind of stuck in a mindset here that doesn't make me feel positive. You know, it's like slowly eroding my confidence, slowly eroding my ability to find what it is that I want for myself here. And so I feel very Five of Pentacles and shut out from what the universe knows that I deserve, and that I internally know what I deserve. You know, I deserve to be happy and loved and respected and have my confidence kind of come back, not be in a feeling of always kind of questioning my own self-worth, or am I pretty enough or good enough or confident enough in an ability here. Okay, so maybe it's something that needs to end. You need to sort of seal the coffin here, you know, because there is no long-term sort of stability in this thing. And so we continue to kind of foolishly believe that it will one day. And so we keep stuck in it. And what you don't see coming is like committing yourself foolishly to something that didn't build to something you wanted to build it. And you kind of know this, but you don't want to see it. You know, we're not really wanting to see it, because I don't know, like there's some love here, but it's also like, what sort of love is this? Like idealistic love that's not balanced or not emotionally fulfilling us in some way. And so we're hoping that the universe will sort of turn the wheel in our favor in some way by, I don't know, just kind of sticking to it. So this is what I have for you guys, Gemini. I hope this resonated. Well, I hope it didn't. It sounds pretty painful here, but if it resonated for you, I hope it brought you some sort of insight to make the changes you need in order to move towards what is going to be stable for you, okay? So there is a lot of energy here that's trying to pull you towards what you deserve here in happiness, okay? But the key is like in your hand. You don't got to wait for this moment of great truth to come in order to start taking steps away from what's not giving it to you now, okay? So if you are drawn to your other signs, then I will see you at that pile. All right, bye. Hello, my most beautiful Leo. Cannot wait to get into your new moon zodiac reading. So I do line up all my zodiac readings with the new moon because they tend to resonate a little bit more for me energetically. So we're recording for the new moon in Pisces, although this is a timeless reading. So whenever you come across this reading, the message was meant to find you as long as you resonate. So we'll be looking at your overall energy, Leo, for this lunar cycle, the next new moon, whenever you are watching this, and what you don't see coming. Then we'll look at opportunity, and we'll look at your challenges for this lunar month, and then of course we'll get some guidance, advice from Spirit. So we'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of beautiful Leo. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message. And thank you so much, Leo, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed. Now, please keep in mind that I am reading energy. And sometimes energy comes through as energy around you if it's very strong. So crisscross energy as you see fit. If it say it's you and it sounds like energy around you, then it could certainly be energy around you. Okay, so crisscross it. And yeah, let's get into your reading. So what is the opportunity here for Leo? What is this opportunity, Spirit, for Leo? We have the Two of Swords revealing itself. All right, what is the challenge here for Leo? What is the challenge? Challenge for Leo. Thank you, Spirit. And one more challenge for Leo. Okay, what is the advice for Leo? What is the advice? All right, interesting. Let us pull the Lenormand cards for a little bit in-depth reading here for Leo. Can we get 3 Lenormand cards for Leo? What is the energy in this lunar cycle for Leo? Thank you, Spirit. And we'll pull 1 oracle for the overall energy in which Spirit is wanting you to encompass for this lunar month. What energy is Leo needing to encompass? So I will ask Spirit to not let my biases get in the way of this channeling, because I do have a Leo moon and I want to do this reading justice. Thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to channel this objectively for beautiful Leo. So what do we have? Summertime energy, beautiful. What does this mean? Spirit wants you to encompass summer energy. This is a very positive, fun, sort of lively, vibrant energy with the summer. Everything's sort of flowing beautifully. This is, you know, kind of like no worries, allowing ourselves to kind of let loose. Yeah, and just enjoying the finer things in life here, you know, and it could be that we've been working on certain things here that, I don't know, like we could have been working on attending to our garden for a long time, which is spring energy, you know, and springtime is where we're sort of anticipating all the beautiful, abundant things that the summer has to offer to us. So maybe a lot of you guys are coming from a very exhausting sort of time in your life where things might have been frozen over, where things might have not have been coming together. And now finally, you know, things are coming together. You're starting to see life in things again, or starting to see the value in things, or why it is that you've invested, how you've invested. And Spirit's really wanting you to sort of, you know, absorb some of this because, you know, as you know, life is up and down and eventually winter will come again. So it's kind of like enjoy the fruits of your labor, like you deserve to enjoy this, you know, and it's like not even fall time here. So I feel like there's still a long stretch here of happiness. There's like something here that's going to have a very long stretch of abundance for you is what I'm feeling. Okay. I'm also feeling a lot of air energy coming from this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm also feeling very heavy earth because of the tree. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn could be your heavy in your birth chart or just energy around you. Okay. I'm not feeling any fire yet, but that doesn't mean anything. So yeah, let's see. Also, tree for me is about health. It's about abundance. It's about stability, security, building something that could be very strong and withstand a lot of storms. And so I feel like you've been investing potentially in something that's fairly solid. It's grown to be very secure in some way, or it can't be uprooted in some way, something maybe to be proud of and sit with and enjoy. It could also be representing like our family tree in some way here. So maybe it's, you know, the stability of the people that we consider family, and seeing them thrive and seeing them healthy and seeing them grow. Okay, so let's take a look at overall energy for you, Leo. We have the Six of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. Look at that, all Pentacles. So tree, this could certainly be like with health here and the Pentacles, like it could be healthy abundance in wealth or material wealth, or like the structure in which you've been building on has really been worth it. Like I feel like you've been investing in something, maybe giving to something, or like you could be financially investing in something, or putting in a lot of your time and your energy, and you could have sacrificed a lot of energy into giving to something that I feel is now paying it back to you. Okay, so could have been a very long stretch of time where we were just kind of giving and giving and giving to something here, knowing that eventually, you know, summertime would come, or that we'd reap the rewards, or that it would be worth it in the end because we'd build this well-rooted sort of structure. And I feel like it is happening here with this Ten of Pentacles. Okay, this is like the legacy we leave behind. This is like the most structured, stable thing we can have here in the tarot, because it takes a long time to build this Ten of Pentacles, but it can't be uprooted. Like whatever this is very solid, can't be uprooted. It stands the test of time here. It's also representing family, and I was getting heavy family from this as well. So it's like long-term family structure, stability, well-rooted, solid foundations here. Okay, like based on the planning. And I feel like there was a lot of building, planning, structure. There's a lot of effort that went into this structure. So what you don't see coming, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Seven of Cups, and we have the Three of Wands in reverse. So this is interesting energy here, not very positive. I'm not going to lie. I mean, Three of Wands is like plans fall through, you know, like all the planning that we kind of did. All of a sudden we have to kind of go back to the drawing board, or rip up whatever we thought would happen. It kind of doesn't pan out in some way. So I feel like there's something leaving you in confusion, you know, and it could be because we saw an opportunity here. I don't know how this is tied in yet, but because I do feel here, like, I don't know if this is overall energy. Maybe this is like a vision of something you had here. I don't feel as a vision. I feel this is like the actual energy. But what I feel like you don't see coming here, it's like something you were seeing as an opportunity to invest, or that could be something more that would amount to something, that could amount to something. It's like, I don't know, like going back to the drawing board or starting to second guess it. I'm not sure if you want this to chase this up, but I feel like it isn't anything that's been chased up on. So I don't feel like it's this, because this, I feel like you've already invested, you've dedicated, you've built, you've put effort. So maybe there's an opportunity here that reveals itself in some way that you don't know how to make of it. Like you're kind of confused. You're not quite sure what to choose, if you should follow up on it, or an opportunity that maybe you thought would have been something, didn't. So now it leaves you kind of confused. Like, I thought this was something that I could pursue in some way, or that would manifest to something greater. And now I'm kind of not quite sure. And so I'm going back to the drawing board. Yeah, I will pull a clarifier here in a bit if I remember, because it might become more clear as I start to do this spread and this reading, okay? Because sometimes readings sort of change as we go along based on the messages coming in and the energy, because you're kind of on a need-to-know basis here in this general reading. So let's take a look at your opportunity. So we saw the Two of Swords reveal itself. Just need a sip of my tea. And when I read the tarot, cards that kind of flip and reveal themselves is known to us. It's like in our awareness. Cards that are face down is kind of like our inner subconscious. We're not quite seeing it because it's inner subconscious. So the fact that we see Two of Swords here, it's something that is known or aware to you. And the opportunity here, we have this Cross Swords, which is an impasse, which is, you know, sitting on a decision, not making a decision one way or another, or two opposing things that, you know, if you choose one thing, then that would mean the opposite for the other thing. Or they're two opposing things that can't coincide together in some way. So there's a need to decide, you know, or like move forward in a way, and we're kind of stuck, or we're needing to make a decision here. And so we could feel stuck in some way, or at a crossroads or an impasse. So why is this an opportunity, Spirit? Let's take a look. What do we see here? So we see the Sun in reverse, and we see the Nine of Cups in reverse. So opportunity. So the Sun is a very positive card in the tarot. When I pull it, whether it's upright or reverse, it always to me means it highlights all the positive energy in the spread, and then it kind of waters down any negative cards that are around it. And the Sun always sort of rises, so it's kind of like delayed sort of happiness or contentment in some way here. So okay, I feel like an energy's coming through here as slow and steady wins the race. It's like, I think you have your vision on what you know you want to build here. And you're like, come hell or high water, committed to building the foundation and the structure, no matter what it sort of takes here. Because I think you've already invested a lot, but also because I think you see some sort of way of doing it, no matter how long it's going to take you. It's like you understand that there is some fruit you're wanting to bear, or some sort of success and health and stability you're wanting to sort of build here. And so what I feel like the opportunity here is like for you to experience something here that might not quite pan out initially, potentially, as maybe you, I don't know, were like expecting it to be. So it's like back to the drawing board in some way of, what do I choose now here? You know, like, I don't think you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater saying, okay, this is just scrap it. But I feel like the universe is putting you in a position here to come to some sort of understanding. Like the opportunity here is, okay, you're at a crossroads now. This did not work. emotionally it didn't bring that fulfillment you thought it would. You know, maybe this opportunity didn't amount to a thing that you thought it would eventually. So now the happiness is kind of delayed now. So it's like, where are we going to find this happiness? Like, where are we going to have the certainty here and the understanding here in order to empower ourselves towards what is going to be emotionally the thing that we envisioned or that we wanted? Because I feel like whatever this stability structure thing is would make you very happy emotionally. We know that this would be our joy or contentment, but I feel like we got blocked in some way. And I feel like we got blocked by the universe in some way because there's a need for us to make some sort of decision trade-off. Okay, so I feel like it's an opportunity because sometimes we don't know when we have to deal with something in order to attain something else. So it might seem like a challenge or like, oh, I fell through, you know, shit, like it's not going to work, like back to the drawing board. Like it feels like we could fall to disappointment. But what Spirit's showing is like, this is a good thing because now there's a need to make a decision here that otherwise you wouldn't have, that leads to an opportunity that now you're at a crossroads of a decision that will change sort of the outcome of something here because something didn't bring the fulfillment, didn't bring the happiness. And so there's delay success here in your opportunity until we choose wisely, until we can see clearly. And so if we're sitting in this energy, Spirit's saying like we can never really build that thing that we envision because we're confused, we're muddled, we're not sure, we sit idle, we're kind of humming and hawing, we might be in denial in some way, or we might not want to pull the trigger on something. Or what I'm feeling more is we don't see this yet because we envisioned what we thought was going to bring us kind of to the promised land or what was going to be the opportunity. I feel like we really saw that. And so when it throws a wrench in our plan, we're like, now we have to see something else, you know, for what it is, or have to deal with something we never thought we'd probably have to deal with. But it's a good thing because now it leads us down a different path, or it leads us in the right way where we really were meant to find the joy or the emotional fulfillment, that the way we were headed probably would have led to a dead end or wouldn't lead to what it was that we wanted. So I feel like this is pretty positive energy here. Okay, this is kind of like divine intervention in some way, intervening in order to lead you to the happiness here, but still like leaving it in your hands in some way, but having to see maybe a blind spot here of something that needs to be dealt with in order for, I feel, the outcome here. So I feel like you're really trying to build something here, Leo, or at least there's this is very positive, sort of blessed, healthy, strong, rooted energy here that you've been committed to for quite some time. And giving of yourself, I feel, for quite some time. So maybe that's what you don't see coming, like could be quite a disappointment here. And I don't see that you're completely devastated, but I feel like it's like, now what? Like now it's like, oh my gosh, like I got to throw all my plans out the window here and kind of start over in some way. And I don't know, like maybe it's not such a big devastating thing here because I feel like you understand or now see something that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. So it's like a kind of glad this has happened, but now I have to make a decision. Yeah, because otherwise I would say like based on this, it's like I'd be completely devastated, you know, if I was investing and giving and putting in my time and it was very much my focus to build, and then all of a sudden something didn't pan out. Like that would be absolutely just devastating. But I feel like it's not that energy I'm picking up here. It's more like, oh, like thank God this happened when it did, or as early as it did, or how it did. So, but now I'm left with this confusion. Like now I'm left with why didn't it? And maybe I got to pre-organize or reorganize my thoughts here and be a little bit more concise and not maybe as naive or as hopeful of me just sort of getting it right the first time or things lining up the first time. Like I need to give it a little bit more thought here. And so this will help me be more concise, to help it be more structured, to help it grow a bit better than maybe it would have had things just worked. And then later on down the road, it would have fell back, because I feel like it's early on in order for you to catch it or to make adjustments in some way. Yeah, but you have to sort of see that, you know, that it wouldn't have been emotionally fulfilling if it had panned out in some way. So what's the challenge? We have the Magician, we have the Five of Swords in reverse, and then we have the Two of Cups. So challenge. It's like the challenge here is working with the thing I feel that didn't, yeah, like whatever didn't sort of happen here in some way. Like we could all of a sudden, excuse me, we could all of a sudden like fall victim to a Five of Swords, which is sometimes how we engage with other people or situations. We could just sabotage things or get upset or like, again, throw the baby out with the bathwater by just scrapping the whole fucking thing and just being like blah, 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 and then just ruining it all in some way. You know, but I feel like we're having to work with what we have with the Magician, because the Magician has all the tools to create things here, but it is an energy of having to actually work with the things, even if they're limited. It's like having to use all of that in order to still make the magic happen for ourselves, having to manifest what we want for ourselves, like the vision of what we saw here. We could still pull the rabbit out of the hat, make it happen in some way. And I feel like the challenge is, how do we muster up what we need to, you know, and not fall victim to just saying, you know, because scrap it, like in some way. So when plans fall apart, like I said, do we rip it all up and then start from the drawing board in some way? Or do we got to figure out what we got to make a decision here and let go of in order for us not to scrap it all and fall victim to just sabotaging the whole thing here, because something didn't work out here, like in a balanced way. Two of Cups is an equal sort of give and take. It's all about balance, and it's about the thing we're in relationship with, or the person we're in relationship with. It's like the thing we're giving to has to kind of give back to us, right? Like, or else why do we keep investing or giving if it's lopsided or not giving or not reciprocal in some way, emotionally, or just giving to us in some way here? So there's a need to sort of work with what we have to find a way to make cohesive things manifest. So Magician is always about manifesting like pentacle things, like things in a practical way in front of us, things that we want to see grow. We have to sort of bring it down from the ethers to really create it, you know, or we could just, like I said, get stuck in some sort of mental energy and sabotage the whole thing in some way. So I don't think you'd want to, though, because of how much you've invested here. But maybe that's the challenge. It's like being emotionally seeing it not working in some way here, and having to get out of, you know, strife or conflict quickly enough here. And maybe there are other people involved. I see a lot of hands here, so there could be multiple people involved here, you know, and there's one sort of truth here with this, with the skull, and the sort of truth is all about being honest and being authentic and staying true to our word, and our actions reflect what we really want. And then because we see the skull signifying like transformation and death, it's like, can I be honest about what needs to go away, or what I need to sort of transform or change in order for there to still be dignity and truth and honesty, and me being aligned with my authentic sort of walk and talk and speak of what I envision for myself and know to be true, despite other people sort of maybe getting in the way or blocking me in some way. Yeah, like having to choose a sword, okay? So I feel like you're having to choose a sword, which is choose a truth or a path. Because one path would lead to something that might be, leading you not towards what you want, and one path might be leading you towards what you want. But I feel like the opportunity is potentially, maybe you don't see which path is going to lead you to the promised land, you know, like really having to see what it is that you could work with here to, and who you can work with, and what truth you can work with, because there might be multiple truths, but only one real truth that represents what you want, one real truth that brings you happiness and clarity, one real kind of truth for you, you know, for whatever it is you're trying to build here. So let's take a look at the Lenormand cards and see what we have. We have the birds. In this deck, it's the owls. And the birds are all about, it could be gossip, which, I mean, gossip is all about, you know, communication. It could be siblings, conversations. Other people could certainly be involved here in communicating certain things here. Maybe we hear things that maybe we don't necessarily know, because I mean, swords is all about communication, understanding truth. So maybe we need to take into consideration maybe what, I don't know, what someone tells us, or maybe we hear about something here that impacts what we originally thought, or we hear of something that now becomes apparent that wasn't going to work out, or something in some way. So let's pull all the Lenormand first, because they're read kind of in succession here, depending on how they fall. So we have the dog, which is all about loyalty and friendship. And then we have the letter. Yeah, so Leo, what I see is communication here from a friend. Like, it could be a sibling, but it could just be a friend, like someone we consider that we're loyal to, and they're like communicating some news, some information here. They're bringing in information here, and I think it changes the name of the game, or it changes, like you find out some information here, or they communicate something to you. I don't feel there's anything sort of malicious in any sort of way. Like, this is like verbal communications, and this is sort of written communications in the Lenormand. So I don't know, there might be a multiple sort of flurry of things that come in, like maybe, you know, like maybe you hear something and it's like how you heard it, but then something becomes like more formal here in written form. I don't know that I'm picking up what this full energy is about yet. I do feel there's friendship for sure, and a loyalty. And we might be loyal to what we heard, or loyal to our understanding of something. Again, like I said, could even be siblings, or like what we consider like a family member, or a really close friend. And so we might be having conversations here, or trying to be loyal to a situation here, maybe where there's a lot of communication, or trying to sort through something, and then getting new piece of information that's still sealed, that we didn't take into consideration. Okay, let's pull the advice card here and see what we get, and then if I need to clarify, I will pull clarifier. So advice, we have Ace of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Four of Pentacles. So much Pentacles coming out here. I think you guys are really trying to manifest something here in the 3D world, like something tangible or practical in front of you, be it whatever job, relationship, or like manifestation of something that's, it could change your life in some way here with the Hierophant, okay? The Hierophant's all about what we commit ourselves to, what we dedicate ourselves to, what we value, our understanding of tradition and our ideologies, and coming to some sort of agreement, understanding for a long-term sort of vision of commitment. And in reverse, it's like having to maybe think outside the box, or our understanding gets flipped upside down in some way. I think there is kind of an energy here of, what do we want to invest in? Okay, like what do we want to actually invest in, and what do we want to hang on to? So it's kind of like the two swords here, you know, because two could be true. It's like, if I start investing in something that might be separate from what I believed in, or what I was giving to, or what I was hanging on to, being my understanding of my lifestyle, or what I committed myself to, and I was really kind of stuck to this sort of thing, I can't necessarily give to something else or start something else. And at the same time, it's like, do I want to then keep giving to this, or do I want to give to something new and create something new? So I think there's really having to sort of understand what you value, and really look at things differently than maybe what you're used to, or you're having to do this because something gets, I don't know, like some piece of information comes in that makes you question maybe what you were committing yourself to, or valuing, or what you were being loyal to. Like maybe who you were communicating with, or who you were working with, or who you were sharing your secrets with, or giving information to openly and trusting and loyal. And then, I don't know, there's like information here. Again, I don't feel there's any sort of backstabbing energy. I just feel like it's kind of like highlighting your need to review something here, what you want to hang on to. Like, do you want to stay in your comfort zone of where you're at, which might not allow you to manifest anything new here, or it's kind of reached the point where it has to be reviewed in some way in order for you to make space for something new? Yeah, so let me just pull an oracle here just for this Lenormand. I feel like this is pretty clear for me for the most part, but what's with these birds or owls, the dog and the letter spirit? Can we get a clarifying card here for beautiful Leo? King of Swords. Yeah, this is like, it's communication, but it's like a new understanding here. Like, the King of Swords is someone who is very logical, you know, who doesn't sort of fall to his emotions, who doesn't say, well, I've already invested so much or in this way, and now I kind of have to keep sort of, I don't know, giving to something here because it's what I've always done. It's more of a logical approach. Like, the King of Swords can cut things out. Like, he's very intellectual when it comes to using his logic to make sound decisions, and it's a sword again. So I feel like what it's showing here is like whatever information you get here allows you to make a very wise decision in order to stick to some truth here, okay? That you can still be like loyal to whatever decision you make. Like, you don't have to stick to something that might not be making sense now that you have this new piece of information. And now that you have this information, it's like, okay, thank God, now I can make the right decision for me. I can stand in my truth. I can work with whatever I still have here in order to gain some sort of balance or make out some sort of thing that I want. Okay, King of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. We have Taurus energy. And we have Leo. And we have Virgo and Gemini energy coming through. So I do want to pull one card here, and I'm pulling this one card kind of for this, what you don't see coming, just to see if we can get one more sort of card here. And I feel like this is where that's elaborating, but let's see if we just get a little bit more. We have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, again, like I keep saying, this Ace of Swords, like the truth, the clarity comes, like cutting through any illusion you might have, okay? Because the Seven of Cups is like illusion. So whatever is kind of murky, whatever we don't know, it's like we end up having to make a decision. We end up having forced to see clearly, even if it means the painful truth, you know, the hard and honest truth of something here. Because in the challenge, it's like getting out of Five of Swords. Like, we could stay in kind of sabotage and play dirty and no-win situation, or we can be honest and at least find some sort of truth and clarity in a situation logically that makes sense in order for us to then invest in something here rather than maybe hang on to something because we could say, well, this is how I've always done it, or how I, you know, was conditioned to believe it to be, or what I was loyal to at one point, you know, what I kind of committed to, what I was loyal to, and then staying there. Or we could say, hey, like, this piece of information, like, I feel is like a formal piece of information. Like, there's some truth in this, no matter how painful. Like, I have to act in some sort of dignity and honesty to myself, you know, and not sit sort of idle here, or at an impasse and not do anything about it. I have to take action. Yeah, so this is what I see here for you, Leo. I hope this resonated for you. I'm not quite sure what it's all about. It's kind of interesting energy. Let me know in the comments if you're pulled to any of your other signs. I will see you there. If not, then I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my most beautiful Scorpio. Cannot wait to get into your new moon zodiac reading. And I do all my zodiac readings for the lunar month, not necessarily the calendar month. Just energetically makes a lot more sense for me. So we're looking at the next new moon for you guys, and I am recording for the new moon in Pisces if you're watching at the time of the recording, although, like I said, this is timeless. So whenever you come across this reading, the message is meant to find you, all right, as long as it resonates. So you could have Scorpio placements, sun, moon, rising, heavy placements, or be checking out on your favorite person. You're all welcome here, like I said, as long as it resonates. So you might want to crisscross energies. If I say it's your energy and sounds like energy around you, then it could certainly be energy around you, because I just read energy and I don't know who is who. So you'll have to sort of determine who is you and who might be around you if there are multiple energies coming through here, or just a strong energy around you that pulls through in your reading. Okay, so we're looking at Scorpio overall and what you don't see coming. Then we're looking at opportunity and then a challenge for this lunar month. So Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of Scorpio. Thank you so, so much. Please protect me and Scorpio as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Scorpio, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I am truly blessed. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate you guys being here. All right, so we have overall, we have what you don't see coming, opportunity, challenge, and advice from Spirit, guidance from Spirit. We'll pull 3 Lenormand cards to give us some depth to this reading. Spirit's lunar energy here for the month ahead for Scorpio. Thank you so much. One more card, please. I'm seeing that one right here. Oh, we got 4 for you. Okay. And 1 oracle card here for the energy Spirit is wanting you to encompass for this month ahead. All right. Beautiful Scorpio. Let's take a look at your reading. So, the golden rose. Spirit wants you to encompass energy of the golden rose. What is this? Well, the golden rose is sometimes life has a lot of twists and turns, and some of them aren't pleasant. And sometimes we have a goal, an outcome, a vision of something we want. You know, it's like the promised land of something that we can never really get to, but we can only anticipate what it would feel like. And, you know, sometimes we have to go through a bunch of trials and tribulations and ups and downs and unknowns and sort of trust the universe in order to kind of get there. So I am feeling Spirit understanding that there is something I think that you really, really want, like a promised land or an outcome of something that I think you might be putting a lot of hope for, you know, and I'm not seeing that Spirit is saying don't hope for it, or that it's you know, a waste of time to hope for this. But what Spirit is saying is trust that all the ups and downs and everywhere that the universe is kind of taking you, even though sometimes it might feel like it's going backwards, it's still allowing you to move forward towards this. Because all of these experiences that we're going through to get there is a part of this journey and process. That, and I know we don't always like cliche sayings, but, you know, sometimes it's about the journey itself, you know, stopping and smelling the roses rather than once we get to a promised land. So I'm just feeling here, and I'm just kind of more intuitively picking up from all the yellow, a lot of ego, which is solar plexus energy. And for me, that's all about sometimes when we think we can make something happen, okay, which is still kind of a positive energy, because a lot of people who get into spirituality, and I'm not passing any judgment, I'm just picking this up as I see it, so I'm going to read it. But sometimes when we get into spirituality, we start with either the law of attraction or really putting a lot of weight into, okay, if I'm very positive and if I'm like doing all these things here, I can make my own sort of outcome, which I mean is beautiful, rather than being victim and just being like, oh, it's all hopeless, because I mean, we are kind of the creator. But when we start to transcend and understand how ego works, we know from the solar plexus, which is all about our confidence. And when we're in that kind of law of attraction energy, we think we have some more control than we actually do. We start to transcend from the lower 3 chakras into the heart chakra, okay? And the heart chakra understands that the universe is actually in control. That once we give it up to the universe, it's like, it doesn't matter, you know, how confident or capable we are. It's like, the universe can all of a sudden just do something that throws our boat upside down. And then we're like, what the hell? Like, am I not good enough? Or was I not capable enough? Or start to second guess your confidence. And so it has nothing to do with your ability or your confidence or your know-how. It's like the universe is guiding you in this lesson here. And so maybe there's a challenge here in accepting that, you know, the ego accepting that it doesn't really have control. Like, yes, do what you can for sure and be positive. Although when the universe takes you in for a loop, or maybe when we're on the downside or feeling backwards, not to fight it, not to think you could do something to get sort of out of it, but to just embrace it as part of the journey and the process, that eventually you'll pull yourself out, as long as you don't fall victim to, you know, kind of woe is me, or feeling like you've done something wrong here, or that you're not capable, and then fall victim to not, I don't know, like having a low self-confidence if things keep falling backwards, like especially if you keep kind of attempting something and it's not really working for you in some way. Yeah. Okay, lots coming through with that. So let's take a look at the overall energy for you guys, Scorpio, for this lunar month ahead. We have Judgment in reverse, and we have Strength, and we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. So I was feeling a lot of yellow energy here. For me, yellow could be sun energy, which is Leo. So heavy Leo energy I'm feeling here in your reading. But again, this is like the universe coming through really strong. Like Judgment is like our wake-up call from the universe. And I feel like the wake-up call here might be something you might not be seeing just yet. And it could be that we think we have, like, because Strength to me could be also an ego card in some way. Okay, so I feel like ego comes through in my channel for quite a bit here, and it could just be a lot, you know, collective energy, having to learn about where we're kind of in ego, so we could transcend a lot of conscious, subconscious sort of energies that might be sitting in the collective here, and getting from a place of doership to heart-based energy. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. It sounds like it's going to be quite spiritual type reading, but it's like from a heart space here, it's like knowing that the universe is really in control in some way. Like, look at this lion looking up at the universe. You know, it's like, yes, this lion is capable, is confident, is courageous, has the ability and the strength, but the universe can do anything here to stop this lion in its tracks, you know, no matter how confident and capable here. And so there's a need to come into some sort of awareness or understanding of a situation here that maybe feels like it's out of your control, or you feel like you could still control it in some way, but when it doesn't happen, it's like you might be taking it on yourself. Like, okay, I'll need to push harder, or I need to figure something out here. But the truth is just accepting that the universe is in control here, and you can only do what you can do. Like, face whatever you can face, knowing how to control, when to let go, and when to move forward and push and pull kind of when you need to, but having that understanding. Okay, and so I feel like, yeah, like there's something here, like this 10 of Cups. It's like this is an idolized sort of, it could be an idolized relationship, or where emotionally we can envision this future thing, this outcome thing that would bring complete happiness, a happy ever after. And maybe we've given up, or we don't see ourselves getting there, or how can we ever get there, or this will never kind of happen. I need to control it, or I need to do something, or yelling at the universe in some way, like, what else can I do? How else can I be strong? Like, what can I do here? And the Spirit's saying, like, there's nothing to figure out other than just accept and understand what has happened, and embrace this as some sort of truth epiphany, that you are strong and capable and confident here and courageous, and that whatever's meant for you won't pass you by. Whatever's meant for you isn't going to weigh a thing. Like, it's not going to make you have to fight and fight and fight, you know. And if we're going through a journey, and sometimes there's ups and downs, like, allow the ups and downs to kind of happen here, because it will lead you to where you're supposed to kind of go, rather than resisting it. Okay, so let's take a look at what you don't see coming. We have the King of Wands. Wow, beautiful energy, more Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and then we have the Chariot, Cancer energy. So this is interesting energy here. You know, the King of Wands is very successful, very confident, very capable. So I feel like there's a lot of confidence coming from you, and ability and talent and capability. And I'm feeling like this Queen of Pentacles, I don't know if these are two, like you and someone else, or two sides of you in some way, but Queen of Pentacles is someone who's grounded, practical, successful, has manifested something that they can call their own and rely on, some structure. And then we have the Chariot. I might have to pull clarifiers here because I'm not really tying how this is kind of tied to the storyline, but Chariot is all about success. And it's all about, yeah, like how we can keep the Chariot upright. The control again, you know, Chariot is all about getting through. Like the universe has the Chariot and we have to just find the balance, know when to kind of hold back and move forward in a balanced way rather than rushing ahead or trying to pull something that's going to topple us over if we're too rushed. So it's like really integrating certain parts of ourself here that we might need to look at, like shadow sides, understanding where we might be in ego and where we might be in shadow, and then accepting both sides, but to still be able to kind of move forward. So I don't know, maybe there's two sides of you here, like the side that wants to make things happen, that's like fired up, that's like, I got to win at all costs. And then there's this like this practical, more grounded side that's like, I'm already sort of stable, successful, and understanding that, you know, structure is kind of built over long term in some way here. Yeah, I'll pull tarot if I need to, if it doesn't become clear by the time we sort of finish the reading, because sometimes readings become more clear as we start to unfold the message more. So let's look at the opportunity here for the month ahead for you guys, Scorpio. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the Magician in reverse. So opportunity. This is giving me the energy of, like, because we saw the 10 of Cups in reverse and now the 7 of Cups in reverse, like to me this both means kind of the same thing. It's like a bubble gets bursted in some way to ground us. So what you don't see coming here with this grounding, it's like maybe we thought we were really in control. And I mean, I don't really want to burst your bubble, but that's why we do these tarot readings, because we can engage with energy once we understand it. And so I don't know if you have blinders on, Scorpio, but I'm seeing like a very confident, capable person for sure getting involved with something here, but maybe in a grounded, practical way, having to come back to earth and seeing where we might be in fantasy, because I feel like the opportunity here is getting out of fantasy land in some way here, or delusion, or now being able to see something clearly, that something wasn't going to work, or the long-term vision wasn't either being created, or we weren't the creator of that long-term stability that we thought we were building this vision for something that would stand the test of time, that we had everything here that was doing this in some way. And I don't know, like, again, this is kind of doing it on our own, like being able to make something happen and manifest it on our own and using our own sort of tools to create something. And it in reverse, it's like not being capable of manifesting or doing it, or having what we need to create it. It also could be, I don't know, kind of manipulative energy in some way, or trying to manipulate things in a way. And King of Wands in the shadow attribute sometimes could be manipulative to win at all costs, you know, have a vision at all costs, stop at nothing to kind of get an outcome. And sometimes it's like, for what was it worth, you know, like, because I think you have your eye on the prize of something here, and you might be trying to pull ahead, which can cause the chariots to tumble. And the universe is saying you can have success here, but there needs to be an awareness of when to hold back, when to move forward. What is fantasy? What is ideal? What is long-term? What can you invest that's going to stand the test of time? What is within your capability, and what is within the universe's capability here, so that you can have something that is worthy and structured in a way that isn't built on shaky ground. But we have to be very honest and see truths here. Okay, so let's look at your challenge. So this kind of sounded almost like a challenge, but I feel like it's an opportunity, because coming out of the illusion that we aren't the master magician here in this allows us to see something we might have not have wanted to see. So now we can sort of course correct onto the right path. You know, we could have been, I don't know, like stuck here in like I said, the golden roses going backwards when we could be moving forward. So it's like life lessons of how do we move forward in a balanced way. Challenge is the Page of Swords, excuse me, the Sun, and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like, well, for one, I'm getting really like young energy or youthful here, could be child energy. Take it as it resonates here, but it could just be we're young at understanding. So it could be a lesson that we haven't yet learned in some way, because the sun is about inner child. And then pages are all about children as well. So there's like 3 kind of child cards coming up for me here in some way. But it could just be us having to really start from the beginning and understanding and getting very clear about what is potential opportunity in a practical, grounded way. Because Pentacles, again, practicality, you know, something that can actually manifest here in the 3D. It's not pie in the sky sort of fantasy as a distant sort of outcome that we have our mind's eye on. Like, there's a need to connect what's here on earth and what's grounded here on earth in order to shed the light on what we can sort of manifest and build here, and start from sort of a novice energy to build on it, and really start to question everything, you know, like start from the beginning and really question, like, is this logical? Is this truthful, what I'm thinking about this outcome? Is this leading me to happiness? Is this clear thoughts that I'm having? Or is this based on some sort of vision of utopia or a future ideal thing that has me sort of going? Or am I trying to win something at all costs? Or is my ego blinding me? You know, because the sun is also another ego card here. So lots of Leo energy I'm getting through here. But yeah, it's like, you know, are we blinded here, or are we sort of in a humble, youthful energy of saying, yeah, I'm going to allow my inner child to come out and say, I don't know what I don't know, but I'm willing to explore and understand what is more practical by asking the questions and getting more clear before taking action. Yes, getting more clear before sort of taking action. So there might need to be groundwork, you know, like not fearing going to the drawing board in some way to question ourselves even, and what it is that we think we understand what happiness is, or what we think we know to be certain, and what we think might make us happy. And then comparing that to, in the practical world, like what will actually manifest for me? What can I in my arsenal build, and what can I leave up to the universe here, you know, in order for me to be happy? And I feel like this is a challenge for you. And maybe it's because going back to maybe novice energy might be a blow to the confidence, again, coming through, because that would be ego, or allowing our inner child to kind of steer us. But I feel like maybe you're letting the inner child, I don't know, inner child is coming out quite strong, but maybe we're letting the inner child steer us in some way here. And we're having to balance, like, what would make us happy, and what is truthful, and what is more grounded and practical, and what does my inner child and my desires and my happiness maybe look like. So maybe we're steering out of something that we think we really want, but it's still maybe we haven't processed it in a mature way. So we're kind of acting out of an impulse here, rather than in a more slow, practical, grounded understanding of what really do we want, what really is going to align us with happiness, what really can we make happen here without forcing something or projecting an ideal happiness onto something that might not be exactly what it is when we get there. Let's take a look at the Lenormand cards here and see if we can get some more information. So we have the Garden. This is all about networking, or groups of people, parties, invites, events. And then we have the Ring. So that's all about commitments. And it could be contracts. Yeah, things we're committing to, contracts we're sort of engaging with here, or making a commitment to. And then we have the Lilies. And then we have the Tree. So Lilies is all about sensuality and our experience and our tenure and our, sensuality. It's like we understand things. So it's kind of opposite from this more youthful energy that might be a little more immature and trying to do something here without giving it a lot of thought, but this is like a lot of more experience. And then we have the tree here, which is very well rooted. You know, it's all about health, structure. It's very stable energy. Could also represent family energy, stability. So this is like more long-term building, structured stability, commitment. And then here's like, yeah, like the event we could partake in, the people we can build our life around or invest our time with or spend our time. Yeah, like, are we floundering in some sort of energy here? Because this is like parties, events, and maybe more lighthearted sort of energies. I'm getting 3 of Cups now from this card. And maybe there's a need for us to commit to something more structured. Commit to something that's more rooted. Commit to something that speaks to our sensuality in a deep way, that speaks to where we're at in life, rather than fulfill some sort of, again, immature inner child feeding that we need to look at here, that is very egoic in some way, that we act out of impulse, that's feeding something egoically in us, that we're feeding and constantly like in a sort of win-lose attitude, like win for me and at all costs. So maybe things lose out, but that's kind of like a more immature sort of way of looking at it. And we keep kind of committing to that sort of group of people or that sort of experience or that sort of environment or partaking in those sort of things, when the universe is saying, hey, like maybe we need to commit to ourselves to something that's going to be growing to something fruitful or more structured for you, or have a more solid foundation. Because your opportunity here is like something that could be more structured and stand the test of time and more built out of a stronger foundation here. Is going to take more planning, more stability. Like the foundation needs to be built here, but we have to be in an energy to make it happen. And we got to get out of confusion. We got to get out of some sort of mind space here that it feels very, yeah, like thinking this is like the best thing ever in some way, or that it's fulfilling us with a 10 of Cups, but it's like not filling the spot here, because the real gold for you is to commit to something that really is well rooted and won't just kind of flounder away or be over right away in some way. Like, yeah, I feel like there's something here that might just be over right away. It doesn't really fulfill you in some way. And so you might be committing yourself to this, like in some sort of youthful energy here, rather than really thinking about and getting very clear about what matters. And the universe wants to bring you to sort of this more balanced promised land here and be successful. And you might be resisting or like fighting back here with some sort of egoic argument against, I know what's best for me in some way, but not really seeing some truth or accepting some truth. Okay, let's take a look at the advice here from Spirit. So we have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, the Fool, and the Hermit. Yeah, so this kind of came together in the end. I don't know so much how this all ties in with this rose, but maybe your eye on the prize was what you are valuing and what you're seeing as this beautiful 10 of Cups thing is really like this, I don't know, all for show, or like it doesn't really fulfill you in a very way that you might think it does, or you might be in an illusion about it, or getting some sort of fulfillment, but it's really just feeding some inner child thing that needs to get looked at. That might feel like it's bringing you joy, but it's more like a temporary joy. That's like you really need to kind of grow on this or expand on this youthful energy so that you can mature into somebody here who can become more practical in a way. And I'm not saying like we can't have fun, but it's like something that is going to bring you happiness consistently, that you could still be well rested without having to go through the ups and downs of something that seems very fleeting here, and have to like commit yourself to something fleeting. Because I feel like there's an up and downness here. Spirit is saying like sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, and it's like having to keep up, like it's very topsy-turvy. but like the choice is yours to choose. And so in order for you to choose wisely here, there's a need for you to do sort of the inner work and the hermit's journey, which is sitting with yourself and really looking at, you know, where are you still growing and understanding yourself? Because that's the challenge. And like, are you acting sort of in this sort of foolish energy, not giving it any thought and just kind of keep choosing the thing that's imbalanced or the thing that's like keeping you kind of up and down? It's not bringing you any stability. It's kind of paying you in a practical way one way, and then in another it's keeping you out in the cold in some way, and you're having to keep up or unable to sort of prioritize your happiness or your stability or your structure here. So like, where do you want to invest here? And the only way to not just take blind action is to really do the inner reflection, become very honest about what makes you happy inside, having to sit with your inner child, but then being honest with where you are right now, like what you've experienced right now. What does stability and structure look like? Well, like, where do you want to really commit yourself to, you know, and hanging on to that truth and sort of following that North Star rather than just kind of blindly leaping into situations that are topsy-turvy and not giving you any fulfillment here, okay? Or, yeah, like thinking it's going to give you fulfillment, but then you keep experiencing the seesaw. And it's like, will you ever get to this rose center? You know, will you ever get there? Or is this an illusion in your mind that's like this utopian thing that you're like, yeah, eventually I'll get there. But you keep experiencing like all the topsy-turvy and the ups and downs of the universe, because the universe is trying to take you somewhere else, you know, that's actually going to bring you happiness and stability, and says, yeah, like you can create this. You don't have to be in topsy-turvy here, but you're trying to get to some sort of fantasy thing that you can come out of this illusion and really shed the light on parts of yourself that might be out of ego, that might need further development, that might need to start to recognize where you can get empowered to do what you can, and then allow the universe to bring in the things here that will give you the stability. But there needs to be coming to terms with truth, not resisting, and then working with the universe and with ourselves and our handicaps or our limits. Because I feel like there's some disability here in what you can create, but it is not one that means you can't create it. It's like the universe saying you're only capable of certain things. The rest of the universe will have to work with you, and that's through experience, through knowing. And so it's okay to not have all the tools. It's okay to not be experienced. It's okay to not know how we're going to get there, and work with what we have, rather than just throwing it all away and saying I'm not capable or I don't understand it, so that therefore I won't even explore, and I'll keep committing myself to something that is not happy or that isn't bringing me stability, and keep kind of grinding towards that, rather than just allowing the universe to bring me this stability and this happiness that I know I deserve in some way, that I don't have to be topsy-turvy here and just keep doing these foolish actions in the blind. Okay, so this is what I have for you guys, Scorpio. I hope this resonated for you. I love you so much. I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my most beautiful Taurus. Cannot wait to get into your reading. We are looking at the new moon energy here for the lunar month ahead for the sign of Taurus. I do all of my zodiac readings in the new moon because I feel the energy just lines up